so it's weird. And he has a couple weird opinions like this that he like publishes, and 20 years later is proven right. Like about older movies, where he's like, I'm pretty sure this is what they're saying, and then 20 years later, everyone's like, yo, Quentin Tarantino was right.
Yeah, he got that director mind.
Yeah, and like Todd Phillips, in his mind, this is Todd Phillips showing you what's wrong with the entire film industry. Because the first movie is top 5 lead actor performances of all time. Joaquin Phoenix goes in. This movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. 2 hours and 37 minutes of it is Joaquin Phoenix. There's like almost no scenes with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. It's the whole movie is like it's a portrait of this guy. You get so immersed in this guy's
Are you talking about the
sadness.
first one?
The first Joker.
Yeah. The second one's very similar.
In that it's him the whole time?
Yeah, but like at this point it's like...
Does he really get butt-fingered?
What?
I don't know.
I haven't seen
You
the
know
second
what?
one.
It's been a minute.
He said he got butt-fingered in that movie.
Listen, that movie's so bad, like, that's kind of like a footnote, like the whole
Yeah,
joke
but you
thing,
also...
if it does happen, you know?
You also thought that Lily Rose Depp...
He does fuck.
You thought
in
Lily
there.
Rose Depp wanted to fuck Nosferatu the whole movie, so like...
That's different.
your
That's
opinion-
intention versus action, you know? What happens, you know? That's my interpretation of her feelings about
She
it.
does fuck Nosferatu. She doesn't want to. You thought she was like horny
That
for
demon
Nosferatu.
in her does.
No. It's him. He's the demon.
He's
What's
trying to
wrong
fuck
with you?
himself? The fuck?
He's trying to
Doesn't
get
make
her
any
to
sense.
fuck him
It's
the
just
whole movie.
masturbate, dude.
Great.
Did you see his hands?
Yeah, those are crazy. You know what they say about long fingers?
You slut. I knew we were live. I just knew it.
Well, we started
figured out-
talking, and I was like, I might as well.
I figured
He's
out like
this-
3 minutes ago, but I knew you hadn't yet, so I was like, all right, let me not spoil it. It's like Santa Claus.
Anyways,
I was like, he'll get it. Yeah, this is
Shirts Off, Season 3, Episode 17.
Return of the Leem again.
We said 13, like 4 episodes. I was like going back and listening. I was like, damn, we really fucked up those numbers. That's why we need you
You know what
here.
you need like a whiteboard right there. So just you
Talent.
don't.
Well, I
do
started
it
just titling them in the
Okay.
thing, so that way I
That's a
keep
good
track.
idea, too.
Yeah, instead of just hanging up a whiteboard.
Not only that, even without titling them, every time you've had them, they have data. Like, there's like somewhere in the file is gonna have the date that the file is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but I mean the date doesn't help. Honestly, I just need to break out the agenda. I need to break out the agenda and.
Now I'm a dumbass. Like, hold up, that was bad cross wiring because that don't make no sense. Hey, my fault. You know, I really hate, guys, I hate that we're going to have to get rid of this podcast because I can't have recorded evidence of me being stupid. So,
Hey, bro, listen.
Oh, hey,
Episode
listen.
1, you're already fucked.
Dude,
what I said in episode 1.
You
Who
said
knows?
a bunch
We all
of
say
wild
way too much
shit.
stupid shit for it not to have happened by now.
You've dropped some music too since like you were last here. Like you spent like
Oh,
2
yeah, that
episodes
happened.
away, yeah.
Wait,
And dropped music.
Hold on a second. What now? What happened?
He dropped new music.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I mean, hey, bro, there's like 30 plays on the song. Like, very small, very...
It's on SoundCloud.
Where is it?
SoundCloud.
God damn it. YouTube.
It was not good enough for YouTube.
Don't say that's such a dumb
Listen,
thing to
man,
say.
if you want me to upload it to the channel, just let me know.
That's not, no. It needs to be its own thing. It needs
No,
to
it
be
does for sure. But like, I feel like he's not going to do it on
YouTube,
his own.
whatever it needs to be, it needs
No.
to be its own thing.
No offense,
But
you know.
facts.
I'm
He's
trying
right
to.
about
I'm
that.
trying to push you. Like, you know what I
appreciate
mean? Like, I want to
Me
be
and
there for
Quentin-
you.
Nah,
Me
I
and Quentin
appreciate
had
it.
a long conversation about this the other day about how Creighton has really taken on the producer role of the friend group and its like videography activities, and like he might just need to be that guy for us, and that might be what it is for you. You might be, minutes away from superstardom, and it's just because you aren't uploading shit to YouTube and it's not going viral yet. You know where it's not going to go
hold on,
viral?
let's back up.
Fucking SoundCloud.
Hold on, wait.
You know why it
Let's
has
back
30
up
views?
for a minute.
Because there's 30 people left on SoundCloud looking for new shit.
Maybe we don't want Leem to get famous because then he'll just leave the podcast, and we need him here.
No.
No.
Alim brings people with him when he rises.
That's fair.
He's
That's
a feed
fair.
his friends.
Listen, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes, I've had a lot of really good conversations the last week.
I also think you guys are like much better than I am at like rising tides and boats and stuff.
Are we? I just like fuck around and find like I experiment all the time, and I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, if this ever got to a place where it felt like it was a job, I think I'd quit.
That's why I stopped doing it for so long.
Because like
Not fair.
my mentality has always been like do something for as long as it's fun, and then just leave abruptly.
And we've done that. Me and him together have done that. Like what? 3?
Yeah, but
we've had like 3
I've
mini,
never
mini
felt like
month
that
hiatuses.
about this. And I'd still, even doing all that I've been doing, don't really feel like that, you know? It's a dangerous mentality to have because, like, I've made no money. No.
On the podcast.
No, I mean, just in general. Like, as soon as things get where it's, like, kind of like, damn, this is work, I just leave. Like,
yeah. Like, even your job.
Yeah, even my job. And, like, I've hung in there with some of those jobs.
Yeah, he got me a job once, and he was a manager at that job, and one day he was like, I'm out of here. And I was like, me too. He was like, oh, all right.
Sweet. Glad this didn't end up being awkward.
Can I go grab a fork for this?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Really,
like,
Bro,
you know where they're at?
What if he said no and was like, dude, drink it. Like, drink the mashed potato.
Do you know where it's at?
Mac and cheese.
Oh, mac and cheese. I only saw the shine. I just assumed it was
I
mashed potatoes.
assume somewhere
It's
like
the
waist
drawer
level.
right beside the fridge.
Okay,
On
bet.
their right side. The only drawer on that. It's on beside the fridge.
Okay, bet, yeah.
Good job, Green.
Thank you.
Here's some
Anyways.
shiny forks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I polish my forks quite a lot, if you know what I'm saying.
What does that mean? Why'd you look at me when you said it? Why'd you do that thing with your hands?
Yeah, I
don't
looked
like
at you
this.
right as you were biting into a pop.
I don't like that Aleem was putting one in his mouth.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
We're
What do
just
you
talking
mean,
about
you-
the forks. Sorry, by the way. Nothing at all. Where's Ted?
He tried to get in the pantry.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I took him out of there.
getting shit like
Dude, Popeye's mac and cheese goes stupid. I'm pretty damn good. So, here's what's important, guys.
Okay.
All right.
What's important?
Yeah, tell us.
I don't have anything to say.
That was, how dare you?
That
I was
video-
so excited. I was so excited to hear some wisdom from Aleem.
That thing that we were talking about earlier that I'm going to tease a little bit here is probably we're going to shoot sometime in May.
Oh, no.
Is that what we're shooting for? I don't have an exact date yet. I was going to talk to you.
Why would you tease without explaining in any capacity?
Because that's the tease, man. That's the tease.
No,
What
it
are we
isn't.
talking about?
They can't see
I
your
made a
face.
face. I made a
They don't
face.
see any of this. I need to bring you that equipment. We need to turn this back into
Yeah.
a visual podcast. We do too many visual
We're
things.
very animated people.
Yeah, we do way too many. Like we all look too good, and do too many things with our faces and hands when we talk to each other.
I don't like how you said that.
There's a lot of things I don't like how they've been said across this season.
That's
But here's
true.
the thing. So if we go visual, is it like, do we do a new season from
Yeah,
there?
absolutely.
Okay, so-
I was thinking about spacing out the seasons after this, like by year.
It'll be
so
like
way we
that.
kinda
It'll be
keep
like
up.
in the '70s when TV went from black and white to color, and they did it live. It'll be like starting season 2 of television. This is the new version. Now you see what's going on.
I was looking back at our episodes earlier as I was waiting on the new episode to upload, which is still uploading as we speak. And I was like, damn, we did season 2 for like 3 years.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
a
There was
lot.
no rhyme or reason
Yeah.
to what the seasons were.
Well, we were doing by the columns of the,
Oh yeah, by
the-
the weather letters.
yeah. But now we don't do that anymore, so.
Yeah.
But it's good, I think, to have like these kind of episodes where it's just us bullshitting a little bit. I mean, we bullshit anyway during every
Yeah.
episode. But like where we don't have a guest on, it's the three of us talking about what we want to do with the show, what we've been up to, that kind of thing. Let people know who we are.
Right. Totally.
Touch people in the way they haven't been touched before.
What kind of way are we touching them?
I don't know. Oh, hey, Alejandro's coming back.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. When's he coming back? He told me not to miss it.
It's gonna be in April. We got the date in here. This is the episode planner, by the way,
you get
for
that?
guests.
Who gave you that?
I picked this out.
Yourself.
Yeah,
Let me see it.
I thought this is a nice print.
Yeah.
It's gold cheetah, gold for success cheetah because we're very fast, so we want to succeed very fast, very quickly.
We succeed quickly, are we?
Yeah.
Let's see. March.
So, bunch of fast finishers. Getting where we're going. Not worried about who we bring with us.
Going up fast.
he has.
Going down slow.
My notes are probably really bare minimum in there.
Yeah, he's got one person booked for the foreseeable future.
No, I haven't written them down yet. I did schedule it in my phone though. I just gotta write it
Then
down.
why do you have this? Why do
to
you
write
have
it down? To write it down.
You have your phone, and you're writing it in your phone. So why are you writing?
No,
it
I'm not
down
writing it
here?
in my phone. I'm texting them off my phone to schedule it, and then I go back in my messages and write it down in the actual calendar so I remember.
Here you go. Take this from me.
It's a system. It's a system.
There's a device that you may be familiar with.
What's it called?
A phone.
Oh, I thought you were going to be...
No, you...
What's the pad thing from the 90s? It's like...
The PDA?
Yeah, PDA. Yeah.
God, I remember the PDA.
Dude, I had one. This shit was stupid.
Remember, did you ever watch Phil of the Future on
Yes.
Disney Channel?
Oh,
remember
I love
when
Phil
he
of the
was
Future.
like comparing the little fucking whatever their little controller was that could like defy gravity? He was comparing it to a PDA. It's crazy just how separated we are because of the rapidness of technology. Like, there's a show on HBO called The Newsroom. And earlier I was watching and I was like, that didn't age well. And I was thinking, and I was like, man, it barely didn't age well. This show was in 2015. Like, this was like literally just 10 years behind the fucking curve of technology. And it was already 10 years after a giant curve in technology.
Yeah.
They were sitting there with like Blackberries thinking that was like the fucking shit. Because they were...
That was my first phone. Like, my first real phone was a BlackBerry.
That's still what the president has. They have to have a BlackBerry.
Because
the
it's
BlackBerry's
encrypted, right?
It's encrypted. Like, the safeguard on a BlackBerry is like the most secure of any phone ever made.
Well, damn.
Like, you can't hack into them. Every president since Blackberries have existed has had to have a BlackBerry as their primary phone.
The presidential BlackBerry.
Yeah, literally.
I
Like,
wonder if it's got a little eagle on the back. Yeah.
it probably does. But with that said, Phil the Future, that thing was way more a telephone. Like, it could do anything in the way that now a cell phone is just an open port to the knowledge we have.
I
in the
remember
universe.
looking at a textbook when I was in elementary school.
Can't defy gravity.
And seeing like this picture of this guy with like a computer, like a phone, like all these different things
on his desk, and how now it's just a phone.
No, and like the note to it was like, one day all this will be in your pocket. And I was like, that's crazy. And now it is. And then like the other thing
it's like
that,
1984 they were predicting that shit.
Yeah. The other thing now that like I didn't really fuck with at the time, that like the future of car design was going to be that everything looked like a teardrop. Because it's got like the aerodynamic shape for better fuel efficiency. And I was like, damn, that's an ugly shape. And then I was right,
Crane's like, so tech guys, we're all prophetic.
Yeah.
we all kind of know what's going on.
Although we are getting away from that. I mean, the Bronco's a brick, so we're getting back to that brick shape, which is nice.
Right.
Just with future technology in it.
I think we've peaked.
What do you mean?
In a lot of ways. I think.
Oh, it's a society? I thought you were talking about the podcast.
Society.
Yeah, I was like, damn, bro, like, just give us a second. Like, I'll get a drink of me right now.
That's not what I mean.
We started, I was finishing my Popeyes.
We're 12 minutes in, and Troy's like, we've peaked.
Not us. We, the people of the world.
Not like us.
Say Drake. Say Drake. Say Drake. I heard you like him young.
Leem did a little dance too.
He sure did. I think that was one of the only times they could see the thing they could hear, because he felt like he was dancing when he said those words.
You are what you see.
You are what you see. That doesn't make sense.
I am not a white man. But I really like being black.
Hey man, Socrates, know thyself. At least you know.
Where's all this liquor?
It's on top of the fridge.
Yeah, I'm fucking stupid. That's how you know I'm a little bit shorter than you guys.
You don't even think to look on top of it.
I'm like, come on.
There's
man.
also a liquor pour right there behind you. There's liquor in those bottles too. So
Hey man, worry about the podcast.
Okay. When I say we peaked, I don't mean us three, the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
we haven't even begun.
A lot of things in
Which-
society are reaching they're like critical mass. I was talking to Mike about this earlier, because he was like, we were talking about mushrooms and how like they've become so popular, and he was like, yeah, I don't think that it's like a good idea that people like Joe Rogan glorify them the way they do. And I was like, why? And he was like, well, because of this. And then I was like, okay, but why that? And he was like, because of this. And basically this, I'm not going to rehab that whole conversation.
Yeah,
but what it ended up spiraling into was he thinks it's bad when famous people like glorify something that they might know a lot about it and they might have good intentions, but at the end of the day, people are going to do things just because famous people do them. And I said, well, but what about, any famous people doing anything? Because if you have that argument for that one thing, you now have to like cascade that argument down the fame ladder. And if Jay Leno is driving in a Porsche 911, no one should drive in a Porsche 911. Like, what? How do we categorize these, things that are... Because Joe Rogan, like him or not, he has very intelligent people come on and dissect issues for good, for bad. That's up to them in that conversation. But with mushrooms, with, anything, pick a thing. He tries to have very intellectual people come on and explain the issue if it's an issue, explain the fun if it's fun, or tackle the whole realm of the possibilities. And this thing just kept spiraling because Mike was on one side, I was on the other. I would ask him this, he would ask me that, and we just kept realizing, like, this only really happens like this when we get to a point where everyone gets to say what they want. And I was like, hold on, we're becoming snakes eating our own tail in this conversation. Because every problem I have, you have a solution to it. But then every problem you have, I have a solution, and the solutions to both of our problems contradict each other. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's a never-ending spiral of you shouldn't be able to do this because of how bad it can be, but you also should be able to do this because of all the good it can do. And they're the same thing. You should be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the problem becomes right now being, like, this time in society, is you achieve a critical mass of car shape. We don't have a lot of new places to really go with that make any sense. For a seller, for a buyer, for whatever.
For
we've
safety,
kind of achieved
regulations.
Yeah, like we've already kind of been
everywhere.
everywhere in that realm. And like with something like mushrooms, like federally it's still legal, but it's starting to get legalized in a lot of places. So why shouldn't somebody I say Joe Rogan because he's an easy example, but anybody, why shouldn't anybody be able to just say, these are my good experiences? Well, the problem is they had good experiences. And if you're listening to them, likely they're successful. And if you're successful, likely you have the money to guarantee you're going to have a good experience, to make sure you have the better product, blah, 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 blah. What about the thousands of people who've done mushrooms and fucking jumped off a building, fucking had a negative experience, had this, had that? Like, I get that those things happen, and that is important to understand. But then, if you start going down that looks like it tastes terrible. Leem took a sip and recoiled.
It was the rest of my lemonade, Sprite, and tequila. And I mean, I'm not going to need another drink.
Listen, man, you should just have me make you a drink. I make good shit.
Nah, I believe it. Continue, though.
Yeah, so wrap that in a little bow, because I don't want to... That's a conversation that could never end. To wrap it in a little bow, getting to the point that we've gotten to in society with the internet in particular, it is so hard to have a constructive conversation anymore because there's too much access to information. Now, the immediate counter to that kind of opinion is, well, without the access to information, we're ignorant. But at a certain point, with the access to information, are we not kind of ignorant? Because now you get to pick and choose what information you decide is right, instead of air quotes, I'm doing air quotes, people listening, like someone who knows what they're talking about says.
Well, that's what...
Now it is the question, who knows what they're talking about? Don't I know what I'm talking about? I have all the information right here. I read it. But what if I read the wrong stuff? Blah, 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 blah. And then the school system is crumbling. And we're really at a loss for the people that are like clearly ahead of everybody else. There's not a lot of, 20 years ago, Stephen Hawking was smart because there were only a couple Stephen Hawkings. Richard Dawkins was smart because there's only a couple Richard Dawkins. You had your 100 or 200 top of the field intellectuals that were the top of their field in their one thing. And you still have them for that thing, for, fucking evolutionary biology or fucking evolutionary theory or quantum physics. Those things that there's only a couple people who can even contemplate every little piece of it to the extent that you can actually know everything that's going on, or at least try to understand the new shit you're researching in the first place. Now everybody's too worried about fucking Game of Thrones lore that, like, how are they supposed to focus on a serious topic and whoever's in charge of it when you got 1,000 people claiming to be the number one in the field of a bunch of, like, subgenres of all these different things. And I think that has become a very big issue when it comes to general knowledge. Because at the right time of the day, with the right conversation, Aleem will definitely argue a point better than anyone else in the room. But it doesn't mean it's the number one point out there to make. There's a contradicting side that could be made even better. And the thing is, if you're the person that's listening to Aleem, or the person listening to the person that is, or the same person listening to the different person who's countering Aleem's point on a different day, both arguments will work because you don't know. And that's, and it used to be, we had a person at the face of whatever an issue was, for like civil rights, Martin Luther King. Before Martin Luther King, there was not a face to it, and it was this abstract idea, civil rights. And then, boom, you put a face to it, and fucking, we got that shit done. Like it happened way faster. We didn't get it done, but it fast forward.
I got it done.
Yeah, Aleem got it done. But pick a thing with the beatniks. You had fucking.
You did what to who?
The beatniks.
Right after Martin Luther King, you're just gonna say something like that.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nah, go ahead.
What'd you call
the guy from Sacha Baron Cohen played him? Fuck, what's his name? He was like the
Borat.
Andy something?
He was like the leader of the hippies, basically. Yeah. And like those guys needed a face, and the problem with them was government wanted to push them down more than the people gave a shit to rise them up. Because their argument, there were too many people in the Bible Belt, too many people. Watch the trial of Chicago 7, it'll explain that whole situation. But nowadays, there's just not a face. And this kind of boils back to Alejandro, a lot of what he was having to say. I've been thinking about that podcast a lot.
That was a good podcast.
It was a good
podcast. That was, at the time of this recording, that one was just uploaded. That one popped off. Like,
did it?
Yeah,
like right away? Okay, cool. Alejandro's thing is like the Democratic Party right now has no face. There's nobody. You think Democratic Party, who do you think? Fucking Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, like Tim Walz, the people that just ran. Mm-hmm. Like, and other than them, who? I mean, the crazy ones. You got Gavin Newsom in California, burning California down to the ground.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a lot of people that don't like him.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. But there's no reasonable Democrats at the top of the field that everyone knows. Mm-hmm. I'm positive there are, fucking reasonable Democrats out there figuring shit out, but there are way more Bernie? Faces. 8 years ago, I would have said Bernie. Bernie's kind of lost my but that's me personally. I'm at
that old thing where like he's like, I only took $1 million, like or whatever from the big pharma. Yeah, whenever his campaign contributions.
Yeah,
that was fun.
It's pretty. He's pretty hypocritical.
Yeah, that was crazy because he was like, only $1 million, only $1 million.
For so long.
No, it is funny, right? But you have to think in that realm, in the millions and millions of dollars and the billions of dollars that go like. I'm not saying that it doesn't compromise.
I know what you mean.
I get what you're saying. It's like a drop in the bucket.
There is a scale.
There's a scale to morale. However, it's like...
It doesn't look good.
At all. And the whole thing is, Bernie, like, we were fucking with you as teenagers because we thought you were different.
Yeah.
And it's like,
turns out,
like, even at your best, like, and then that means you lied to us because you could have from the jump be like, look, even I'm a little dirty out here.
How you think and he probably would have got more supporters.
I think that's why everybody...
Batman Sanders.
Mm-hmm. That's like... That statement, that is so well said, because if he says at the very beginning, look, we all do this, but I think it's wrong, that's why everyone fucks with Trump. Because Trump came right out at the beginning and was like, I'm a criminal. We're all criminals, but here's my point to make. And then everyone was like, fuck yeah, that's our criminal. Yeah. Like, that was their fucking, sometimes it takes that, the olive branch, the concession of, we're all doing this.
Well, it's like the Titanic, man. Like, the Titanic.
Oh, I can't wait to hear you say
no, listen.
It's like the Titanic. Go.
James Cameron's a bitch.
No, not the movie. The actual incident with the ship. Okay. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that this, based on the structure of the ship and the size of the iceberg, if they had just hit it head on, the ship probably would have survived. Like, the watertight doors would have hold. Because the whole reason the Titanic sank was because 15 of its watertight compartments were compromised. So it was way too much for the ship to sustain and be able to float. Okay. But if it hit head on, more than likely it probably would have been 1 or 2.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn.
So, but to your point, like if he had just, hit the
if
hit
he
it
just
straight on,
like, we all take money, we have to. It was kind
he probably would have fared better for it.
Because here's the thing, he created this almost like, and I don't think he did it on purpose, but it almost became white knighting and virtue signaling.
Yeah,
in the Democratic Party.
Well, and it doesn't help too that the whole party was like, we're against him. Like we want somebody else, and like we don't care what other people want. We're just gonna put who we want to in there. Like they did it with Clinton, they did it with Biden, they tried to do it with Harris.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, they definitely did it for a long time just running the system, at least is the conspiracy theories will state, because I think it was either 76 or 78. Every single ticket for president since 1978 had the names
At least Clinton, Bush.
Biden, Clinton, or Bush on it. Yeah. Somewhere on the ticket. Since 78 or 70, whatever year was that election. Like, that like, little analytic alone is damning in that clearly there's a machine being run here.
Like, that's the... Like, I don't know.
And the scary part is that it's both parties.
No,
running
well, you guys know
statistics, though.
I think a good reason for me to get on here with Alejandro, too, is because, like, fundamentally, if you were to hear me and Alejandro talk about how we feel about the world, you would probably think that, like, I'm, like, also, like, a Democrat and stuff. But I really think this is all a puppet show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I mean, like, I can't describe to you guys enough of, like, how much I think it's... I mean, like, it's almost lazy and a disservice. Like, I'm almost not serving my country in that regard. Like, I'm not participating in politics. I'm not, like, being overly aware. But, like, I truly believe it's because, like, I'm not stupid, right? I'm not a dumb guy. However, I think it is a little dumb that I'm not heavily informed. However, I'm getting along fine, and it seems that, like, even though, like, there's things that I'm not keeping track of that change, there's not any... Under either party, under whoever voted for what, there doesn't seem to be any, like, major difference, like, to the life that, like, I'm leading. Which I don't think is, like, a fair point to not be...
To the grand scale.
Yeah, to the grand scale, I don't think it's a fair point. However, it's, like, I think that how shit's gonna go is how it's gonna go. Like, I very realistically do not believe that, like, the people have that much effect on it. I don't think we have that much input. I think even when we feel like we have input, like... Maybe at the local level at most, but like when you talk about the grand scale, how big this country is, like our nation is as big as like multiple countries and stuff. Like all the things that they have riding on keeping the system intact, I don't think they were ever willing to actually put that in the hands of the people. And I think that everything that we like argue about or like debate about and stuff is all like really good and like an intellectual.
You think from like the get go, like from
I think it's all
originally
bullshit.
the very beginning of the country. I mean, there just weren't enough people. I think at a certain point it probably was way more civilian. I think it happened way longer ago. What you're saying started way longer ago than like current modern conspiracy theories would estimate. Yeah. I'm thinking it was probably like right after Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, like right after the Civil War when there was clearly like a giant divide. The only way to keep it going was for like, puppet masters to be controlling everything and very much like Darth Sidious orchestrating both sides.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I think at the end of the day, it's something like that is what's really going on.
I don't know. I think it's probably like a bit of both is true because like to maintain like what they've been able to maintain for so long, like just even in any kind of organization, no matter how powerful, no matter how much resources you have, just is I don't think is sustainable. Like historically speaking, it just from what I've seen and read about in history, like it just doesn't seem like they could do it. They might have tried in the past, but I think ultimately the will of the people is what overrides whatever system is in place, whether it's out in front of us or before us.
I think before telephones, it would have been virtually impossible for any one person or even one group to truly have a grip on everything and run it properly. But once communication became pick up a phone and dial a guy on the other side of the world, somebody took advantage of that power vacuum right away, and there has been a, however long it's been, line of those guys in charge running shit. And the internet only hyper fixated that. If there were 5 of those guys, there's 1 of those guys now.
The other thing too, man, is that like, how do I put it? Even if there was like because like long before like America was even like formed and stuff, like there was other crooked shit going on in like other nations. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, and I don't think I don't know personally. I'm not gonna like overly research it. I'd like to think that like once upon a time this like was like some great like honest nation of the people and stuff. But regardless of what, for as long as we've been alive and longer than that, like everything that we're doing, I just don't think it has like an actual impact. I don't think that I think something as simple as like the Electoral College. Like I get we learn about it in school and stuff, but like that alone is like silly.
Yeah, the whole figuring out the whole implementation of us voting it's silly. I that's a very good word for it.
And so then
there's
it's
so
like,
many contradictions every time the whole discussion gets brought up.
so then you think about and it makes sense. It's a massive amount of numbers that nobody's ever going to be able to like fully follow to a T. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, like it really doesn't matter because that large massive numbers is supposed to influence the people that are in charge of the small massive numbers that actually goes next. And just
you have to assume every single person giving in those tally marks. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just, so then it's like, so let's be realistic. There's no way in hell that they're all being honest. So it's more than likely that a good chunk of them are probably lying. So I just feel like that's kind of the thing. Like, I think it's good for people to be politically informed. And luckily for me, I have friends that'll do it. But I just truly believe that, like, none of this shit really matters. If they want to rain hell from the sky, they will. Like, I don't think that, like whatever war is going to happen, there's not shit the three of us are going to do that's going to change the outcome of that. And I get that, like, we come together as a collective, as a people and all that. Like, that sounds good. But, like, realistically thinking about it, in other nations, those nations be as big as, like, New Jersey sometimes. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Rallying all the niggas in one state to do one fucking thing is a miracle. But, like, realistically, like, part of our nation being as big as it is isn't just about, like, you know, a fucking cock measuring contest. Wild to say that out loud. But the reality of it is, like, how could, like, you know, the idea is nice and stuff, right? But, like, let's be honest. The government's been fucking everybody disproportionately for a while, right? But our government's not solid. We're getting fucked. Shit's fucking bad. All right, let's all revolt. How the fuck you're not going to get all these people from all these states and these massive land masses to actually cooperatively attack a thing.
Yeah, it's not going to be organized.
In and of itself is like a formless entity. Like the government, I get it. There's buildings, there's this, there's that. But when it comes to like the power structure, it's really, how do you actually attack that? And then the mitochondria of that fucking symbiotic fucking goop that is our government has nukes. You know what I mean? So, like, even if we all did right, even if it would literally never boil down more than, like, pockets of, like, civil disturbance. But as far as, like, what's actually in control and is actually fucking everybody, that's never going to be anything anybody has a straight shot for. And I think that the way that trickles down is just more and more shadows and secrets and, you know what I mean? And this was before the drugs. I always felt like this. But I just don't think any of it matters. Like, I love Alejandro to death, but I really think we could sit here and, like, at a local level, I get it. Because at a local level, you know, if we can get enough of us to show up, we actually can do this thing that'll change legislation at a local level. And I get that, like, the idea is like, okay, so scale that up. Eventually, you're playing with a scale that you no longer have any actual effect on. And then the reality of it is, like, the world is not fair. So let's say that you, by chance, like Alejandro, hypothetically, let's say he actually goes through every channel, does everything right, makes it to where he wants to go, like, gets himself in the house or is seated, whatever, boom. Do you think, at what point do you think he has enough power to change the lives of people for the better at the cost of the wealthy, and at what point do you think those people won't execute that man? And I don't mean like in like a
I don't know. I think he can do it. I mean, look, I'm an optimistic motherfucker. I always have been. But like,
I agree.
I get where you're coming from.
At some, you eventually get to a point where like you either aren't impacting as much good as like you ultimately thought you were setting out to. You know what I mean? Like, like you're gonna do some good. I'm not saying you can't do some good, but I just mean like even the good is like pocket size compared to the massive problem. Like it's almost like let people do good amongst themselves or in their little pockets and stuff. But like if there was actually like a politician that was going to rise their way all the way to the top and change capitalist America, like stop letting the corporations like actually if there was actually somebody on the way to make this fair for everybody, they would get killed. There's no doubt in my mind.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think because if you look at history, there's these ebb and flows, like where things get really shitty for a while. Then you have like, it's like the whole saying, you know, hard times create good people create good times create weak people create hard times. You know, it's a cycle. Yeah. I think we're on the end of it, like where like hard times have come. We're either in the middle of it or towards the end of those hard times. And like, I think COVID was probably like the peak of the peak. Like, you know, you had a virus keeping us inside. You had civil unrest.
Well, there's a hitch in that, and I think we're on the opposite side of what you think. I think that we are at the peak of becoming the weak people. I think that we are
maybe.
Like as much as you hate to admit it about yourself, whether it's you or me or any of us individually, the people are the weakest we've ever been. We are the dumbest we've ever been on record. Like in the 60s, we were the smartest country analytically. We were the most intelligent country on this planet. Like
who ran? But who?
In terms of knowledge available to us and scoring systems of IQ across the board, the way they score it everywhere else, they test all these different countries. Sure, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. There was
these are people that told us that like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans had a feast and were friends, right? Like those are the same guys that left out the slaughtering after.
Sure,
I don't.
Well, is everything are we supposed to not believe anything about any history that's ever happened anywhere?
No, it's not. You're not supposed to believe anything about anything, but you're supposed to recognize that we live in a country that has that glazes.
Be critical of what you're told, I think is what he's...
Sure, I agree.
Yeah, and I don't...
These were testing scores that like China responds to, that Russia responds to, that they, what's the word, coordinate with us to broadcast. Like, everyone is helping each other in this regard because everyone wants to know where everyone's at. If China thinks America's really smart, they're going to try and be smarter. And while at the same time trying to make us dumber. And that has very clearly on paper happened. Like with scores, with jobs, with medium income level, with all these different things. Americans have become dumber, like intellectually. Just broadly. I'm not saying that we're dumb. I'm not saying that...
Oh, yeah. Bro, nobody has to tell me that. I'm painfully aware of how intelligent
Sure, but I mean, generally speaking, like, education level, the way that the system is run, like, motherfuckers are not learning things. Like, just look at the way people text now. Like, people don't know words. There are memes about people spelling, like, middle school words wrong.
But that's different. That's more of an evolution of language. Because because they're still talking to each other, communicating each other effectively. It's not that there's a breakdown.
There's another word called de-evolution, and I think we're way more.
But that's also to say that like some of the words we spell, that's not how they were spelled in ye old English, and that doesn't discredit that.
I agree.
I also think that like it can become not necessarily you, but it can be very elitist to define the metrics of intelligence solely by those things. Like just because somebody doesn't use all like the flowerful language, or even if they like misspell words and stuff, that doesn't speak to their like total capacity to like understand.
That I agree with, but when you match it with the attention span of every person who has TikTok and Instagram and all these different things being fucking slaughtered, people will not watch a video if it's more than a minute and a half long now. Like the metrics of that, there are exceptions, Creighton. I understand. I
know, but
like the grand majority of entertainment taken in.
But that's everybody with the phone.
Yeah, that's
everybody has a phone.
Yes, they do, Creighton. Everyone has a phone.
I don't... Okay, everybody... Most people in America have a phone.
99%,
but that's not the rest of the world. You mean to tell me everybody in Africa has a phone?
No.
Everybody in South
America has a phone, and that's why we are becoming dumber, because our attention span is getting smaller. We're not taking in information as well. The information we are taking in is useless entertainment. There's good entertainment. I'm not saying entertainment's bad, but we are watching. I get sent memes by friends. I get sent videos by friends that. It is such. You at least when you send me stuff, there's something about it where I'm like, oh, at least that tickles that part of my brain that makes me think.
Yeah.
I have friends that send me stuff. It is just nothing. I don't understand. Like, it's nothing happening, and they're like, this was worthy of sending to a person. And forget about sending it to me, sending it to everybody, and everybody's just watching 30-second nothing, 60-second nothing, and they're doing it for 4 hours. They're taking in hundreds of videos a day that do nothing for them, teach them nothing. They're not taking in any information that is helping them in their day-to-day lives, and they're doing it for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day sometimes. Some people don't go to work and do their job. They go to work and they watch TikTok. They go to work, they look at Twitter, they go to work, they look at Instagram, and depending on your algorithm and depending on what you're seeing on your day-to-day basis, you're not learning anything. People aren't reading books, they're reading Twitter. Mm-hmm. And when you read Twitter, I follow pages that are like organizations. It is a place being represented by a Twitter account, and they're misspelling they're misspelling normal words. They're not fact-checking. No one's like reading the thing they just typed. They just click send. Like, they let very blatant little and I know that's like a micro that's a tiny little thing to be annoyed by, but when you notice it, it is like it's a when you're sick, what's it called? You notice things based on
symptom.
A symptom. It's a symptom of a larger issue, like having fucking pick a thing, the Oscars, fucking the WHO, pick an organization. When they're misspelling a tweet that is supposed to be informing the public, that is incorrectly informing the public. like
right.
As little as misspelling the word same and instead doing some, as little as an issue as that is, when it's happening to everybody, that means that someone isn't making sure everything is correct.
But when you go out and you talk to people, like everyday people on the street, at least, and granted, we live in South Carolina, so it's like I'm seeing people from this area and talking to people generally from this area, or have moved here from like in your case, like New Jersey. Like just this past weekend, I was talking to a guy from New York, that's really good friends with my stepdad, and we had a great conversation. But I mean, like when you talk to people, like actually talk to people, like the symptoms you're talking about aren't really there. I don't think, because I mean,
maybe not for the people you're
most people you can carry a conversation with, even people that are like what you're talking about, the younger people that are just like on TikTok all the time. Like they understand like what's funny and what's not. It's just a different type of funny compared to what me and you would consider, or what's entertainment and what's not.
Well, the subjectivity of entertainment I will give you, but the people being able to hold a conversation, at least in my experience, is just not there.
I don't know, man. I just think you're getting older, dude.
Cannot hang.
That's also presumptuous of like how it's always been too, guys. Like, you know, that's like when people are like, you know, you're always on your damn phones, but if you see like old pictures of like people on the train, they were all in their newspapers instead of talking to each other. It's not like magically once upon a time ago, everybody like, hey, howdy, neighbor. Yeah, I mean, like people like to like portray it like that, but like we've seen that in media. Media will have you thinking that things are different than they are now, but I don't think people are like, what's the word I'm looking for? And
evolution?
Huh?
The evolution?
No. I don't think that it's stupid.
Sorry, I don't know. You said paper phone, so I was thinking.
No. Just I don't think people were ever particularly great at carrying conversation. Like I don't think like any of us can be like, you know, in the 50s, like they were really good at talking. Like we don't know any period of time that we can be like they were good at carrying conversation.
Like the general people, like all people.
No, yeah, the general people. Like you don't have like a go. You can't be like 1985. America was known for carrying conversation. You know
to that point, with the paper thing that you're talking about, like newspapers used to be just like what you're describing, like these like supposedly
Pulp
official
Fiction.
quote unquote articles, like would just be saying random shit, and whatever sells, that's the story they would go with to a certain extent.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's just I feel like we're seeing natural evolution. Of
I
that.
think everything that you've made like great points, but I do think that all those things aren't. I think are just like products of people. Like I think people are like that. Like the internet. Too many words. The internet takes any problem that we've ever had and just kind of like blows it up. You know what I mean? Just because like ultimately the internet in its ideal state is an extension of human consciousness. Obviously, at this point, it's an extension of human consciousness and advertisements and like robots and all that stuff.
How can you get clicks?
But at the end of the day, like it's an extension of like it's us thinking in unison outside of ourselves. You know what I mean? It's a place like going to a website is a place where you have access to information, no different than a book. So many things all boil down to like memes, which is exchanging and sharing of information and whatnot.
That's how you can take the pulse of culture is by looking at their memes or their cartoons. You know.
So I think, but I mean, like, there's test scores to back it up. I, quite frankly, because, like, I didn't have access to, like, a bunch of, like, there are people from way better backgrounds than me that are, like, way dumber than me. So I feel like because I have intelligence against the odds, that it's hard for me to believe that everybody else is just like, and I'm a dysfunctional.
No, that is a common, not common, that is an observed theory. The like challenging, like rising up through adversity makes a more intelligent person way more often than like just having the means does. Like people who rise up, like some in like 2010, like some like 80% of the world's billionaires started their lives like in poverty,
with
like
dirt floors,
like legit poverty, not like what like you know, like your parents both had a job and, you know, you had a roof over your head, like legit for real, like real world poverty, like 80% of the billionaires. That's a crazy number. These guys rose from nothing, and that was that was, you know, 15 years ago, 20 years
I do think that there's like I know that like, people talk about like the dying middle class and stuff like that. I don't know shit about middle. Like to me, middle class is rich. Like the way that I grew up, like middle class is rich. However,
it's the same.
I think that middle class faces like a slight issue where like almost like because at least I build character through adversity, right? At least like I've been able to get a glimpse of reality. I think that doing just well enough to just exist comfortably in the matrix can be very detrimental in the long run. Because let's say you're middle class, you're only ever one bad medical expense from all that shit being down the toilet, right? But let's say you go the whole so long without that big medical expense, you're conditioned to feel a certain way about life, like a certain expectation of cookie cutter, a certain expectation like this is day in, day and out. Even though you were always one step away from struggle, you felt like you weren't up until like it was in your face, and I feel like that can be like very dangerous. I think another I don't have another good example, but it's akin to like when I got to college that one time and I did awful. But I remember like the first time I did bad in college, I was like, okay, like fuck it, you know what I mean? Like I was like, damn, that sucks. But like,
one semester, I wasn't even there a whole semester.
Give me a second. So I was like, fuck it. But then there were kids who like got a bad grade and were having meltdowns, or like they got to college and they had to call their parents because like. But the thing is, for me, unfortunately, adversity is something I became used to. Yeah. Not great at overcoming. Like, I got my shit with me, but I was used to adversity from an early age, just off of socioeconomics.
You'd been there before. You knew how to deal with it.
Yeah, like mind you, like it's not the same as like failing a test, not doing good, but it's like this isn't the first time like life hasn't gone my way. Yeah. For some people, the first time shit doesn't go their way is that first time that they're on their own.
There's like
first time.
3 chapters in David versus Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell about this.
Really?
It's what I've been reading lately.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much it's like coming up and I'm not bringing it up lately in our podcast, like him and his work. Like it's nuts. But it's all of his stuff is just like kind of timeless wisdom. Like that he's really good at breaking down for like normal people. But that's a whole giant piece of that is how, you know, in the story of David versus Goliath, not only do you have the Davids of the world who are like having to overcome what looked like a crazy situation to come out on top. In reality, David was always going to win. David had all the tools, and Goliath was actually the one who was
at a disadvantage.
Yeah. Like it's talking about how like people who look like they have advantages are actually disadvantageous, and vice versa. So often, that's why so often it looks like the underdog never stood a chance, when in reality the underdog was the only one who was ever going to win. Like it's crazy how often that happens in society, in life, in grand scale situations of like a company, all the way down to like individual people. And that happens so often. Like so often, it takes. And his problem in that like grandiose statement is, or not his problem, but his question that he, you know, bookends the chapter with is, but is that what we should try to do? Does this mean that we need people to start off in poverty or start off in a terrible place and have a horrible beginning to their life just so they can overcome it and be better people? That doesn't seem like the right answer to me. But here we are, and it just is one of those like fucking like mic drop moments. Like,
what do you think about that?
What do you guys think? And it's like, fuck, dude. I mean, he brings up. It's like it's the snake eating its own tail. It's like, what's the right answer? Do we make everybody's lives so perfect that everyone's boring, or do motherfuckers got to start off in a rough place so they become fucking, you know, Michael Jordan? I mean,
but see, like, that's what I would say is like more of a forced will. You know what I mean? Like, you are in a situation where the only way to get out of it is forcing your way out of it.
Yeah.
But then you have the other side of the coin, because there, as little as we see it now, there are people in middle class that have like that same drive and push, if not more so, just because they want to be better. Like, they want to win no matter what, because they grew up winning, or no, winning, quote unquote, but grew up, you know, in a more advantageous, I guess would be the word I'm looking for, position than somebody else that might not have been.
Born into money.
And also being able to look up and see there's people that have it better than me, and I want that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, it's also the motivations to do that, because some people who are born with some money, their motivation is pride, and it's not like one of these good attributes that air quotes good, like whatever you define good as. Yeah. Some people are just prideful and they want to be better. It's like fucking American Psycho. He just wants to be the most elite of the elite. Yeah. He wants to be cooler than the rest of these cool fucking dorks. Yeah. And that's like why he goes crazy. But then you have people who see a problem that needs fixing, because fixing the problem is going to help a lot of people. Yeah. And like if you put these two people on paper achieving the same goal, they both look like they're good / successful people, when in reality one is like a good moral person trying to do something for the right reason, and the other is trying to do the same exact thing in the same exact way because he wants to be better than the rest of the people.
Well, and will doesn't always translate the same way to different things. Like for some people, like in Leem's case, where like he messed up that first class or whatever, like some people look at that, well, him just giving up doesn't mean, that says he doesn't have a strong will. But look at the other shit that Leem's done with his life. Like, you know what I mean? Like making music, being here. Like, don't wave your hand like that. Listen, like you got some good shit going on that takes will and perseverance to go through and like push yourself to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we've all found our different seats on the train. Like we are like.
Why are you making about seats, man? Huh? Why are you making about seats, man?
We all found our different seats on the train, like going to where we want to go. Like, if Aleem wanted to become the fucking CEO of Goodwill, he's doing a terrible job. But if he wants to, not have the fucking misery of running a company and deal with garbage people all the time and having to like climb the evil, poisonous corporate ladder, and instead like focus on friendship and having good people in his life and like watering the roots of those important people, like, and having that, like, having a garden of friendship and fucking, there's a word I'm trying to figure out. Somebody's pulling in. Who's that? If he focuses on happiness.
For Christian.
Okay. Yeah, if you focus on happiness rather than success, you're probably going to be happier at the end of the day, like, and to a certain level, more successful than you would have been if you were, air quotes, successful.
Just do something till it becomes a job, man. Then just quit, leave abruptly.
That's
like I do.
Your thing works for you. It doesn't work for everyone else. I
have the key. I've had a
lot of opportunities to make a lot more money than I've made, and I didn't do them because I knew that not a year in, not 5 years in, but that 2 months in, I was going to be fucking miserable. Yeah. And I was like, you know what I could do instead? The same thing I'm doing, that I'm having fun doing. I get a ton of time off. I get to do what I want when I want to do it. I've got life the way I kind of want it right now. Do I think it'll stay like this? No. Am I prepared for when that change finally happens? I'm pretty sure I am. Oh, yeah. Like, as long as you know where you're at and that you can continue to survive, like, who cares if your house is bigger or smaller than someone else's? As long as you are happy with who you are and where you're at, just keep riding your fucking, keep your fucking seat on the train. You gotta fucking stay in your lane. People don't know how to stay in the fucking lane.
As long as your emotional dick is bigger than everybody else's.
Is my seat in the front or the back of the train?
That's a good question, too.
And is this a soul train, perhaps?
Or is this a funk train?
Huh?
Or is this a funk train?
If it's a soul train or a funk train, your seat is wherever you want it to be. See, you thought I was going to say there you go.
We're actually in the dinner car of the train.
What'd you say?
We're actually in the dinner car of the train.
Nah, but I agree. That was very well stated. I'm glad we were able to, blow some of that steam off with a good little joke.
Yeah. Are we all going through shit? Like, we're having, like, the deepest
podcast. I don't think since we've all known each other, none of us have ever not been going through something.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you're like, you guys are like, I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. I haven't seen you all weekend. You guys come in with this emotional burden. And I'm like, all right, time for some dick jokes.
Well, here's the thing. With you and me specifically, we did the podcast, fucking 300 episodes with each other,
and didn't get to focus on topics because of the chat. No offense, chat. We love you.
But regardless of that, there are many, many times that we sat up late at night for an hour before podcast started, or 2 or 3 hours after,
walking around Walmart
and just having a conversation.
Not getting Taco Bell.
For most of our friendship, when we see Aleem, it is all fun, haha, jokes, and silliness. the more you do stuff like a podcast and have a conversation for the sake of having the conversation, not just, this isn't just us hanging out. We are trying to actually produce something worthy of the ears of other people.
Look, I'm here for it. I'm not complaining.
Listen to the statement, though. You're just interrupting.
Sorry. I was quiet for so long, and I have so many things to say.
You're asking.
It's all built up.
You're asking why it got so real, and it's because at a certain point you exhaust all your silly points, and it's time to finally have some of these discussions that you maybe have wanted to, but never felt like it was the right time to.
Yeah.
And someone as deep and as complicated as Aleem, with the two of us who are also deep and complicated people, like, you finally get to have these real conversations. And sometimes when you get in that fucking groove, you gotta have that conversation, bro. And we were having one. It was a good one.
Listen, man.
Now we should talk about Captain Jack Sparrow.
Listen, man. I'm shallow as fuck. I don't know what
That's
you
not
mean.
true.
You know what makes me happy? Like,
cake.
You know, what kind of cake?
That answers the question. if we have to get to the point where
I'm a simple man. I want to come home. I want to
if
play
we're
some Halo Reach.
specifying what kind of cake, the answer is yes.
I want to touch some titties. I want to, like, go to sleep.
That sounds great.
And I want to have some money in the bank. And that's it. That's all I need.
Uh-huh.
That's why I think I'm shallow.
So you don't want to attack the deep state.
Listen.
Or Big Pharma.
Listen. Also, I like working on my cars. So,
okay.
That's also a nice thing because I get to,
So
get
Captain Jack Sparrow. I learned something cool. Have you ever watched...
He was saving slaves.
That's the thing I was talking about.
You didn't know that?
No, I never saw that. It was like
Dude,
a deleted...
oh my God, I found that out
scene.
like 10 years ago.
Oh, well...
So I used to...
It was like late to the party.
I saw a cool little meme in high school.
Yeah, from Tumblr, right? Like, where it's
Actually,
like this whole thing.
It's a Tumblr style.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, like, do you want to explain or you want me to? Because you were like...
Yeah, no, you were pretty excited.
You were... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
You tell us. Yeah, we already know, but...
Okay, for the audience, now that we've fucking cock-teased them with this cool potential interesting information. Jack Sparrow, the reason the Black Pearl is black in the first place is that... Who's the bad guy from World's End?
Lord Cutler Beckett.
Oh, well, who's the other one?
Davy Jones?
Is it Tarrington somethington?
Are you talking about the guy that is in charge of the East India Trading Company?
Yeah.
That's Lord Cutler Beckett.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it was
for
Tarrington or something. Anyway, so that guy,
you know me.
that guy hired Jack to be a
as
trading,
a privateer.
Sure, as a trading vessel.
I thought you were gonna let him tell it. Crazy.
Sorry, no. I just historical.
Hey,
historical.
You know what we can do? We can just stop.
Sorry, I'm just gonna drink my drink.
That guy hired Jack to be a cargo fucking ship, and Jack didn't realize that the cargo was slaves. The cargo, he tries to free the slaves. They burn the ship down. It sinks. He goes to Davy Jones, says, "Hey, bring the ship back." I'm summarizing the fuck out of this. The ship comes back. It is clearly still the Black Pearl, and it's burnt to a crisp. Why it is now the Black Pearl, and it is becoming cursed in the eyes of all these privateers because that ship was supposed to be destroyed, and it is somehow sailing again. That's how he kind of became infamous. But it started, the reason Jack Sparrow, this moral pirate, is a pirate in the first place is because he was attacking the system.
It was the barnacle, by the way, before it sank.
Okay, that's cool. I
Sorry.
didn't know that. No, that's fine.
I used to be...
So, you knew more about this than me. I'm happy to listen.
I'm really deep. Once upon a time...
I know Creighton really... this is a very quick interjection. Creighton fucks heavily with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
he knows... he might know more about those 5 movies than I know about Game of Thrones.
To the point where, at one point in time when I was a child, I would just dress up as Jack Sparrow and, play pirates all the time. Look, I would. It's the truth. There are pictures.
Amazing.
There are pictures out there somewhere of me. I don't know where they're at.
The funniest thing is you look like you would be a pirate.
Thank you. I developed my whole aura around being a pirate.
You want to know the crazy thing about those movies? That until I was
the lore's deep, dude.
The lore is deep.
Yeah, I was probably 20 when I realized that they were saying Caribbean wrong. Mm-hmm. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, not the Caribbean.
But I didn't know Caribbean and Caribbean were the same word.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why Caribbean is why they say it?
No.
Because Jack talks funny.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the Caribbean, baby. He's basically Pirate Austin Powers.
Yeah, no, it's not wrong. That's the
literally the reason.
That's why it's called Pirates of the
Yeah.
It's called the Caribbean. But it's pronounced Caribbean because Jack Sparrow says it like that.
He just talks weird.
He just talks silly.
No, I get it, but like when I say the name of the movie, am I saying Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean?
I think it's very much a Berenstein Bears situation. You say what you want, and everyone knows what you mean. Like it doesn't.
I don't like his answer, but he's right.
Yeah, I was saying
It's the fucking.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah. Zemo is it's the Zemo Sam
No,
Wilson
but Falcon
conversation.
says it.
Yeah, Falcon says it. Yeah, well, they both say a thing.
Yeah, but Falcon's the one that's like, he's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
He's very much
He's
like
trying
the
to take,
American...
you hear him trying to take that credit away from
He's
the Falcons.
very much like the American Civil Rights Movement from the
Really,
1960s.
man? In the month...
I mean, he's out of line, but he's right.
Really, Charlie? In the month after Black History Month.
Okay, but we were saying really in March. That was funny.
He turned into a long ass sentence. It's like Japanese. Like they got one character, it's like half a paragraph.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like a swish on the top of an L means this, but on the left side of the bottom of the L, it's like literally a book. It's crazy.
That's just wild.
That shit is wild. And they have it on keyboards.
So...
Insane.
It's insane to me.
So you know how Jack ended up at Davy Jones's at Davy Jones after that?
How?
So like...
Are we talking about in the movies or like in this
so
pre
all
Black
this
Girl?
developed... All this was developed behind the scenes, and there's like one deleted scene where he's like him. It's that scene from I wanted to say episode 3 from At World's End, the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where he's talking to Beckett,
Episode
and they
3.
make the deal for him to like lead him to Shipwreck Cove, and he's like, he said the last time I saw that ship, it was sinking. It was on fire and sinking beneath the waves, and he goes. Beckett goes along the lines of something like, you know, you failed to deliver your cargo, and Jack goes, people aren't cargo. You know,
Fire,
and that's
fire,
where
fire delivery.
that's where all this comes from, and then they develop that line. But anyways, when the ship sank,
Long cargo, mate. I can hear it say, "Ooh, I can imagine how good it was."
when the ship, I don't know why the fuck they cut it from the movie. I guess because that's a lore heavy movie. Like, people
Is he
turning
an
into
Australian
goddesses.
Jamaican?
Who? Jack Sparrow?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Jack Sparrow or Johnny Depp, the person?
No. Johnny Depp is racially ambiguous.
Yeah, he really does whatever card he wants.
Dude,
at
Johnny
this point.
Depp's like from Tennessee or something.
Yeah, that's the funniest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably like just like mildly mixed. He's probably like a quarter black.
No, I think he's just white, dude.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, he got a splash of something, dog. I don't
Listen.
care if he's 1/3 Cajun.
He's a
goddamn
hell
it.
of an actor, dude. That's how good he is. He fooled you.
Aleem, in the movie, he's just dirty. He's a pirate.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Stop. You gotta stop. You gotta
now
stop.
he's
fucking-
being racist.
Yeah, you're being
In
racist.
the month after Black
Yeah, what are
History
you
Month.
doing,
Bro,
man?
Johnny Depp, bro, that man is not 100% white, bro.
Also, Amber Heard did that man dirty.
Bro.
Also, she fucked with my franchise, man. We could have gotten a better movie than Pirates of the Caribbean.
Damn,
Listen, I'm about to go on a whole rant
What?
here. Okay. Where's he from?
that motherfucker's a mutt. Johnny Depp's ethnicity is primarily English, with some French, German, Irish, and African American ancestry.
Well,
With
that's
an 8th great grandmother being Elizabeth Key.
Did he say that, or did
one
they
of
do
the
a
first
23
African Americans in the North American colonies to sue for her freedom and win? His 8th great grandmother. Wow. So in a way more racist version of this, my 8th great grandfather is Andrew Jackson.
Is he?
Yeah, my 8th grade. You gotta say grade 8 times.
Like, actually?
It's sort of.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Oh, hell no.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, dude. Trail of Tears. That was me. That was us.
Stop thinking about white people.
My one of the greats were like fell in love with the Indian on the Trail of Tears, or a Native American. I mean, sorry.
You want like a, first of all, don't make eye contact with somebody. He's like, hello, fellow colored.
Well, to be fair, we're
listen.
talking. Johnny Depp is the same amount black as that is Native American. We're talking. He's
I'm not
8
saying-
times. It's his 8th
I'm not
great
saying
grandmother
that
was
to
black.
claim that. I'm just saying like we're like kind of connected.
Nah, but they
Me
know
and Charlie.
that for sure. They probably don't have, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
23 me. He
No.
probably just said that shit. He
No,
probably said
they're-
in interviews.
they're-
They were like,
My great grandmother was.
Yeah.
She
he
sued
said
for
it in
freedom.
the Jack Sparrow
She
voice.
sued for her freedom and won.
They're like, Johnny, how much you been drinking today? He's like, what?
Correct.
So, goddamn. Yeah, but what would you guys call his accent? Like, it's not like an
It's
Australian.
fucking goofy.
It's an Australian podcast.
No, he's
right?
doing the accent, dude.
No.
The whole time, like,
I know, I'm
he's
saying-
doing it on purpose. Like, you know.
in
That's
real
not.
life?
That's not. No, yeah, dude. Did you ever watch the trial?
No, hold on,
Of
hold on.
Amber, like him and Amber Heard. He's doing a Jack Sparrow in that.
That might just be his voice, bro. He does that voice in like all the movies.
I've seen fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. The first time he ever acted, he did not sound like that.
No, but I'm talking about Jack Sparrow, the way Jack Sparrow talks.
Why does he talk like that?
Yeah, I don't give a
'Cause
fuck
he's
about
drunk,
Johnny
dude.
Depp. No, okay.
He
That's
is
the
wasted.
joke.
Most of the street time
That's
he's
the
wasted.
whole point. He's like a
You guys don't think he sounds like an Australian Jamaican?
Oh God! Now that you said that, I can't unhear it.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like,
I think that's a very good summarization of what it is he sounds like.
Yeah.
I feel like Johnny Depp was like, what would Jack Sparrow be like? He'd be like this.
He had just watched Austin Powers. He was like, "Let me do."
Let me be Austin Powers, being an Australian who hangs out with Jamaicans. that's how he figured it out. It's crazy that is like a lot of their method is like they have to put themselves in like 3 or 4 different places before they can really like get to what they consider like the zone for that. Like Heath Ledger, he had like a diary for being the Joker.
Did you see they
like,
just
stuff
released
to read
it?
and stuff to like keep in mind? Like this is why he thinks this. He thinks this. He thinks this too, and he also sees the world like this, and he sees this guy as this guy, and like that's how he got into that fucking crazy mindset.
Yeah.
There's a documentary on YouTube called I Am Heath Ledger or I Heath Ledger, something like that. It's like an hour long. It's all his friends made it about him and a lot of lost footage because he filmed a lot of shit like on camcorders and just like had hours and hours of footage because he was a camera guy.
Yeah.
Like he was like all encompassing filmmaker. He liked all of it. He would have been a big director, big everything if he had lived any longer. He was. I'm older than he was when he died. Now I'm older than the Joker in The Dark Knight. That's crazy to me, man.
That's super scary to think about.
That's so wild, and
that really recontextualizes like the Joker too. Like when you're a kid or a teenager watching that movie, you're like this big scary adult, but now you're an adult and you're like, dude, it's like somebody at my job had a bad fucking day and just
a bad life, a bad fucking, was probably born bad. Like this motherfucker, that particular guy had it
want to know
rough.
how I got these scars,
bro? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Just like, I mean, dude, I mean, he like fucking, he gets under your skin. He's so good at being so grimy. But the craziest part about that character to me is when he's talking to Rachel, when he's talking to fucking, who's the black dude?
Which black?
Michael J. White.
Yeah, but the character.
Nah, I don't know the character.
I don't know if I don't
black
know
dude?
in The Dark Knight that he kills.
Commissioner Loeb?
No,
The Michael J. White guy.
The one that he has the knife that he's saying, you want to know how I got these scars?
Oh.
Why so serious? Gamble. When he's talking to Gamble, when he's talking to Rachel, you see not only is he making up a new story every time, but like obviously something happened.
Yeah.
At least, you know, this is subjective, you assume that. But if something happened, you're talking about a character who he's so intelligent and he's so thoughtful on these things that he's trying to create for the like the legend of the Joker. You know, he's lying. But like to get there, you're talking about one of these like fucking had to go through some crazy shit. He just came out of it dirty. You know what I mean? He didn't come out clean on the other side. Like that's one of those characters, like, of all the characters in cinema history, I'm like, bro, I wish we had that story. I wish we had how the fuck did he become that Joker? Because guy, that Joker, of all the Jokers, is the most exciting to me. He's the most, like, enthralling, how did he get here? Because, like, Barry Keoghan, even the little scene in The Dark Knight that you get, you realize, clearly, intelligent version of the Joker. He's not like a dumb Joker. He's a smart Joker. but he's so fucked up. Not dumb,
I
but
mean,
like
fucking what's his name in
Jared
Suicide Squad? Like, you know,
like
that man was
there's a
just
couple
trying
of-
to be too edgy. Like,
Well,
you know,
yeah, it's like they're not very.
they don't get it.
They don't have the sauce, but they're just not as.
It's just a phase with them, you know, but it's not like.
Yeah, like sure. The Barry Keoghan Joker, we only got like 5 minutes of him so far, but just the 5 minutes of him, the entire performance we get out of Heath Ledger, you see like, oh, this is a whole guy. Whoever's doing this character, whoever's acting, whoever's writing, there's a whole guy behind this. Like we see, like there's clearly something. The Jared Leto Joker is incredibly there it is, one-dimensional. Like we have a lot of like 1 and 2 dimensional Jokers, and then we've got a couple like 4-dimensional, absurdly well-defined Jokers. And I want to see those stories. And it's very much like Joker, like with Joaquin Phoenix. That is an extremely one of the greatest origin story movies of all time. but I wanted it with Heath Ledger, not with this version, not with Arthur Fleck, which it's unbelievable. But like, I'll only ever watch it that one. I'll never watch it again. It is a horrifyingly disturbing movie to watch. It hurts to watch it. It's so
about
good.
The first one?
The first one.
The second one also is. But
Yeah,
in a
for different
way.
reasons.
Like, it just... God, I just hated being a DC fan after watching the second one. And I don't watch anything... I made it through the DCEU not feeling like that.
You watched
watched all those?
Pretty much all of them.
Why?
Yeah. I'm a ride or die DC fan.
Hey,
man.
that man does it for the love of the fuck.
That's for real.
Love
those
of the
those
fucking
movies.
game.
I watched Man of Steel.
I know what the potential is. I know they can do better. I believe in them.
I
I'm
watched
gonna go
Man of
every
Steel.
time.
I watched Man of Steel and I watched Batman vs Superman. I fucking bowed the whole fuck out after
Listen,
this.
I like
Listen.
Man of Steel.
I like Man of Steel.
When James Gunn cooks with
James
fucking Superman Legacy, whatever
Why'd you
they're
say you
calling
said
it now.
James Goon?
James
James
Gunn.
Gunn.
He's a
Whatever.
good.
Whenever he cooks with the new
That dude's
Superman
got a
movie,
greasy hat on
I'm
at all
gonna
times.
hug Charlie, just like that scene in Tropic Thunder where he's like talking about we took a long time to get up that hill.
Creighton's gonna be disguised as a DCU fan.
Charlie's gonna be like, "The fuck are you talking?"
We had to sit through Wonder Woman 1984 to get all the way to Superman.
We made
Legends
it.
of Tomorrow.
Gal Gadot is the worst fucking actress.
She's pretty bad.
She's a good Wonder Woman. I like her as
she
Wonder
was
Woman.
good.
No, she's not.
In the first one. In the
I was
first
gonna.
one.
Okay, I was gonna.
Guys, how are we
there's the
defining it?
caveat.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
The second one's
we're talking
dog
about line
shit.
delivery.
Yeah.
That
but
bitch
that's her
can't
accent,
deliver.
though.
No accent. No.
No. She's
Danny
she's got,
Trejo
like-
has an accent.
Yeah.
He does lines better
Yeah.
than Gal Gadot.
I've seen a lot of her roles.
Danny Trejo
and
should be Wonder Woman.
they're almost all trash. Wonder Woman, there's emotion. She's doing a good job delivering. She's being a good character. She's not good.
The first one
anywhere
and the
else.
Snyder Cut.
She's also good in Death from the Nile. Aside from
Oh,
those
and
two,
also Batman v Superman.
I disagree.
Oh.
I didn't like her in that. On everything else, I agree with you. Those two, I just have seen her in a lot of stuff, so I have a very little version of. I can give her flowers where she deserves them.
I'll ride
she
hard
did good in
for
2
Gal
movies,
Gadot.
at least. I haven't seen every film.
Dude, she's shit.
She is bad.
Like, she's like a generational waste. Like they talk about generational times. Like, bro, like,
Damn it, she's beautiful.
Okay, wait. Who
absurd.
do you think should be the new Wonder Woman in the DCU?
Well, you know I don't put much thought to this.
No, I'm just asking. I'm
If
putting the
I had
question
to-
on the table. I know he's
How
already...
old is she?
Hillary Swank.
That's a terrible idea.
That's...
Finger snap. That's
I love Hillary Swank. I'm gonna go on record. Hillary Swank, you are one of them bitches. I love you. You should do anything you want to do. You are a goddess, not Wonder Woman.
I'm gonna say she's immortal, but she's young. Like she's
Immortal, but like when you
like
say
she's
young,
like 20-ish, but she's
20-ish?
like been 20-ish for a long time. Like she's got Edward Cullen
She's
going on.
okay.
Because I do like that version of Wonder Woman, like one that's new to man's world.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of fuck hard with her being involved with World War One. So I'm split like a banana.
Problem is, we've got more great actresses right now than we've ever had.
That's what I'm
there's
saying,
Like a big
like,
pool of people to pull
And
from.
I want somebody that's taller than Batman and Superman, even if she's an
Damn,
actually.
that shortens the fucking window. There's not a lot of tall.
No, even if she isn't actually, just CGI her to make her look like
Right.
Because in the comics she is. It's kind of crazy because like
Honestly, I
Superman
need to
like
look
looks
up, like,
there.
a list
She's
of
an
modern
Amazon, dude.
actresses.
Yeah.
It's big shit. Big shit. Bitch like 6'4".
And it's like fucking just a tank. Like can fucking rock your shit.
Gosh, man, it's probably helpful if I actually watch movies.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Chris the other day. I was like, I'm a little happy that Aleem isn't here because we were having very in-depth like movie TV discussions that were like going from one role to the other, like and how people were taking those roles and using them in other roles.
Yeah.
And I was like, in the middle of the conversation, I was like, God damn, bro, it's good Aleem ain't here because he would not know what's going
I
on.
don't know what the fuck's up.
I would think. All right, I'm thinking through my actresses right now.
Yeah.
Demi Moore.
Way too old. First of all, way too old.
She's
Maybe
so
like
old.
20 years ago, but like,
Come on,
imagine they brought back Linda Carter.
Hey,
no,
she's dead, ain't it?
she's alive.
Who?
So
Linda
Linda
Carter's
the
alive?
woman that played Wonder Woman in the show.
She's pretty hot.
You know who low key could
She
do
still
it,
is
but only
hot,
for a
dude.
couple of years
Who?
because she's getting older. Is Linda Cardellini? She could be
who
a
that
solid
is.
Hawkeye's wife. She could be a solid.
Oh
Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
yeah. She'd be good.
She's also Velma in Scooby-Doo.
yeah.
Okay, touche, but like acting wise, absolutely, she doesn't look like Wonder Woman.
She's got-
I mean, like there's stuff there to work with.
She's got black hair.
Wonder Woman.
She's
has
a white
that-
lady with black hair.
All right, like was it Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
She has more of a Wonder Woman face than Linda Cardellini.
Ooh, the girl from The Crown. I got it. The first couple seasons.
Ooh.
That's a good pull, wasn't it?
Claire
Yeah.
Foy.
Took me a
Yeah,
second to get there,
she's
but I got
fucking-
it. Pull up a picture.
Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel or Claire Foy. I like both of those. Zoe Deschanel's a little too silly though.
A little too.
She is
I,
so
mean, I
silly.
feel like her sister's hot, but she's a little too serious.
Also,
Yeah.
she's
Like
got.
Bones a little too
Yeah.
rigid, just a little too rigid.
Yeah. Show him a picture of who I'm
Emily
talking about.
Deschanel.
That's her name.
That's her
Emily?
name, yeah.
I
Show him
call
a
her
picture on
Bones.
your phone
Yeah.
who I'm talking about. He'll give up right
Oh,
away.
Claire Foy?
Yeah.
Yeah, low key, you'll see Claire Foy and be like, yeah, that's
I
Wonder
knew
Woman.
I had a good one in me. I was sitting
Yeah.
there. I was like,
I'm glad you found that because, like, God, you're right.
God, she could do it too. She's got like the prestige to put into the character. Because you ever watched The Crown? Nah, you probably haven't watched that.
Nah, but I mean, I've seen Bridgerton, so you never know what I will watch.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I meant no, just because
You know,
you
I'll
don't
be
seem like a
sleeping-
big fan of the royal family.
I'll be
like,
sleeping
you know.
with white women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
That's Claire Foy. That's
No,
that's Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
that's right. Like that's what I meant. She has the
Like, I'm gonna tell. I watched.
God, James Gunn, if you're listening to this, call me.
Yeah,
Yeah, long hair especially.
yeah.
I got
no,
ideas.
Yeah,
I got ideas.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll cook for you.
Because I wanted to say.
Chef Creighton.
Just put me in the kitchen.
I wanted to say what's her name from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but she's already Lois Lane now.
Is she?
She's
Lois
playing
Lane? That's
Lois
who
Lane
Lois Lane
in the new
is.
Superman.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
She's
That's
amazing.
wild. She does not look at
Rachel
all her food.
Brosnahan. There it is. That was gonna.
She would also be a that'd be
She'd
a
be
good
a good
pick,
one.
Yeah,
But so,
mine's better. But
yours is. I do agree.
All right, relax.
Claire Foy. No,
You haven't
he
seen The
cooked with
Crown.
Claire
You haven't
Foy.
seen The Crown.
You haven't seen The Crown. He cooked hard with Claire Foy.
Listen, if you had
It's
seen
crazy.
The Crown, you would get it. Like right away, you'd be like,
Look,
"Oh man, it's not even a." How did they?
Never
not?
was I
'Cause she
more.
was like,
Never was
she
I more okay with a monarchy than the first two seasons
Yeah.
of The Crown.
She-
I was like,
it's
damn it,
crazy that they went over her to Gal Gadot because like they were developing that around the same time The Crown was coming out, so they knew, and they were like, "No, we're going to go somewhere else."
Gal Gadot is a bigger name, no?
Not at that
Not
time.
at
Wonder
that time.
Woman.
Oh, really?
Wonder Woman made
kind
her
of like
a big.
skyrocketed her.
Yeah.
She was like
Nobody knew who the fuck Gal Gadot
She was
was.
pretty.
She was the hot. Yeah, she was. I guess the hot chick from Fast.
yeah. She was very much
She's
like
like Fast.
5 or 6.
I was gonna say
That was
it's one of the
that
later
was
ones.
after Wonder Woman, or that was after.
No.
Guys, no.
Fast 5 wasn't.
That
No.
was after
I don't know about
Batman
Fast
v
6.
Superman.
No. She dies in one of the Fast and Furious movies way before like we're talking about like during the dawn of the MCU times. Like I'm in high school. Like I was 16 years old.
Yeah, Batman v Superman was while we were in high school.
Yeah,
I was in Bayonne though.
You were what?
I was in Bayonne. Like I wasn't here down.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Well, maybe I might be wrong then.
No, honestly though, it is melting my brain. Batman v Superman. We were in high school.
That was 2016. Well, no, that was
2016.
2016 was the year after we graduated. We graduated in 2015.
I want to say it might have been right after high school.
You got your phone.
You have your fucking phone.
I'm-
Hey, Jamie!
God
Jamie.
damn it.
Jamie!
I hate being Jamie.
Jamie
We
Christopher
need
Charles!
you to clear some shit up for us. I remember Fast 7 came out because that was the year that we graduated. Everybody was playing that
was
fucking
2016.
song.
Batman v Superman 2016?
Okay.
Yeah.
But
All right,
every-
look up the... My bad, Jamie. Look up the fat...
But that
hate
was the
this.
year everybody was playing "See You Again," and our fucking class song was Lil Einstein.
That shit made me crazy.
No, bro.
But I
to this
get it.
day, no, because the woman I've been seeing graduated a different year from us. The year that she graduated, she like told me her song.
It was the work song,
I'm
wasn't
not gonna say it out loud. Like no, just because she's a few years.
Oh,
younger than
sorry,
me,
sorry.
and I feel awful
Oh,
about
okay.
that. No,
Were you picking her up from the school or
Not,
dropping
no,
her off?
no,
That's crazy.
No, anyway,
College.
She's like, we're discussing it right now in our class.
I just met this woman.
They're playing "Not Like Us" at her graduation.
Bro, could you imagine? That would be crazy. crazy. Someone's gonna do it.
No, for sure.
Someone's gonna do it.
Someone did it already. I think. Not Like Us was the summer.
Yeah,
it was right after school was
exactly.
out.
Bro,
Right
Yeah,
after
it's
school was
coming.
out.
Bro,
It's coming.
May
Get
is
ready for
on the
those
way, dog. This is gonna be crazy.
Motherfuckers crip walking to get their goddamn diploma. They not like us. They not like us. But look up Gal Gadot and Fast. I think it was
Fast
Fast
5. What year was that?
Or
I'm
Fast
probably
It
wrong.
wasn't Fast 5.
Oh, it's not.
Then it's 6.
Gal Gadot. Fast and the Furious.
Dead Space Part 6.
No, this is important.
Damn.
We're alive in this space.
2013.
It just says Fast and the Furious 2009.
Dude, you're googling the wrong
Look
shit.
up
Just
Gal
type in-
Gadot Fast
I
Furious.
did.
Yeah, 2009
Cast.
is crazy.
That can't be right.
Yeah, no.
Fast
And also,
Furious?
you guys
There's no way
said
Fast and Furious was 2009. The first one?
No.
No, that's like Tokyo Drift.
Just
That's
look
what
up
I'm
her
saying.
Nah, Tokyo Drift's like 06. So
Yeah.
2009 is like Fast 4, I think.
This is Dwayne Johnson in the cast.
That could be right.
Because that's Fast 5. He enters in Fast 5, but
Fast
When's
5.
Fast
Enter
5?
Dwayne Johnson.
well, he's in like 5 of them after that. He's in a few of them.
Well, that was like, for the Fast 5 part, it was foreshadowing how many he would be in.
How dare you?
No,
So dumb.
the
They're
thing
like
is,
Fast 5 and a spinoff.
because she's in the same one, the Han comes back, and everybody's like, how's Han still alive?
Oh, that's like Fast 7.
So that's like the year before, then, probably.
Okay, then it's probably like in a lead up. The Fast
Yeah.
Fast 7 would have been 2014 or 15 because that's the year.
That's
that
when
the
we had
song-
See You Again.
that's the
Everybody but
Yeah.
us had that.
No, but she dies in the one. No, then it was Fast 6.
Okay.
No, because Han doesn't come back in the one. Paul Walker dies. Han's already been back because Han's girlfriend dies in 6.
And
which
she's
is
the
Gal
girlfriend.
Gadot. That's
right?
Gal Gadot's character.
She falls out the plane.
Wait,
Spoilers.
That's
for
not
Fast
Gal
5.
Gadot. That's a different lady. I know that lady.
I really would like to honestly. This is the one
positive?
time I'm out moving you.
I don't like those movies. I only like Fast 5, so you would know more about
No,
this.
relax. No, the fuck I wouldn't.
It's-
I hate those movies.
Turns out it's
Don't-
what's her name from The
I
Crown.
haven't seen them, so you know more.
Okay, look here, little bitch.
I just know that
I want to be
relationship.
right. I want to be right.
I'm just gonna
Fast
look it up on
6.
my phone.
Yeah,
Take
Jamie's
it to
over
the-
here slacking and shit.
I will do it all.
Do it live.
No, I'll do it. I'm like Thanos. I'll do it myself.
Dude, he looks so different in those end credit scenes versus when
He's
when they got-
purpler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and less
yeah.
Josh Brolin-y.
Yeah. Well, they hadn't figured out the CGI.
I
thing.
knew that. I just saying
You know
things. I
that
don't
it was
I don't
originally
need your matter of
in
fact.
in the first end credit scene at the end of the first Avengers. This is a black guy that's doing
That's her,
Thanos.
Fast 6.
So they
Fast
kind of
5.
whitewashed Thanos if you think about it,
Good for them.
or purple wash.
Only a white man would try to kill everybody. And say it's all right. There's only half of us.
They really tried it with Kang, and then everybody's like, "Nah."
You shouldn't have said that in front of Andrew Jackson's 8th great
You
grandson.
shut up.
I'm about to look up Josh Brolin's heritage. If Johnny Depp has some fucking.
All right, hey, listen, I got this answer faster than Troy has in like 10 minutes. Fast 5 was
I just said it 4 times.
it was 2011 that Fast 5 came out, and
One already said that. 2, she's in Fast 6.
Yeah. And Fast 6 should be 2013, right?
I assume.
22. I know. The reason I know is because I saw this movie in theaters when I still lived in New Jersey.
Furious. Is it Furious 6?
Yeah, it has a stupid ass
Probably.
name. No, they started doing bullshit with the fucking names.
No, they were playing around with it for sure. Oh no, it's just Fast and Furious 6.
Damn,
Oh,
he's
I
just
guess
white.
and.
He's just a bunch of European white.
What?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, of course.
Damn it.
Were you looking up Josh
That-
Brolin's
that
heritage?
German
Oh, she is.
Polish-
It's that one. It's the 6th one, and it's 2013.
I know.
I just said it.
Yeah.
No, not only that, but before you guys said shit, one told you it was Gal Gadot. Fuck.
Yeah, you did. You got me on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I like
Get
it.
him.
That's my one cinematic.
Now
movie
get me.
taking that.
You had one. You had one a few episodes back. You knew something I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
just
remember.
whipped that shit out. It was like obscure as
I
fuck,
remember.
too.
Yeah, it was a very obscure movie thing where you very much like that. You were like, "Got you one time, bitch." Like,
Sounds like me. Yeah, I would do that.
but yeah, she's a terrible actress.
No, so bad.
She's
So
so bad.
fucking bad. So beautiful, but so bad. And then on top of that, I also think she's a little shitty because when COVID happened, any one of them celebrities doing one of
That
them.
video?
Oh, that video.
Oh,
with
dude, I forgot.
Bro, it
They were
hurt me.
All of them.
It hurt me so bad. I watched that and I was like,
Oh,
not
no.
only my boy, my Jimmy Fallon, but Aaron Paul too. How dare they
Yeah.
both? Why did you guys think that this was a good idea?
We can't let him keep getting away.
Aaron Paul's in this in
Invincible.
the newest season.
Don't
of
say anything.
Invincible.
I haven't.
No,
I
but
haven't
it's
watched
just
it.
really funny because you can't keep
Okay.
getting away with it. Just is hilarious.
Okay, well, just don't say that because I now will understand stuff better.
Nah, I'll give it to him. This is one instance where
Yeah,
one you'll
it's so
forget.
funny.
No, yeah,
It's
you're
like-
good. You're good. You're
Okay.
good. Yeah, it's not. You could literally watch the one scene, and all you'd be able to surmise is that like he's a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny because his voice acting is no different than.
Oh
his,
no, dude! I was like, is that
it's just
Aaron
the,
Paul?
It's just the dude from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
it's just
He-
what
What's
Jimmy.
his like?
It's like Jesse.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
What's
never
his
watched
like
Breaking
funny
Bad.
name in Breaking Bad? It's like something Hernandez.
He
or
doesn't know.
something.
Who are you asking about?
Hey, calm down, trivia slut. Hey,
what's
nah,
never-
I know, but Chris loves to answer some shit. He said he doesn't fucking know. Ask me, baby. Ask me, baby.
He literally finished saying,
No,
I
fuck
haven't
you,
watched
Chris.
it, and Creighton was like, hey, Leem, remember in Breaking Bad, who's the Hernandez? Like, who? Ask the guy who's seen it
What's
6
Jesse's
times.
like? Not nickname, but the name that he goes by to sell.
Rico Blanco.
Is it Rico Blanco?
Yeah.
Don't stop. No, don't listen.
It's something like it's just not him.
When he's taken in by the DEA and they interview him,
Yeah.
it is silly.
Look
It's a
at
silly
you,
name.
you silly
I don't
dude.
know that.
I thought it was her. It's something Hernandez, isn't it?
I don't know. That is one of those super obscure trivia because he never really goes to jail or anything, so you never really know. Like not real jail.
But it's like an important thing at one point because like it's like because Walter's like, oh, I know what his real name is, and that's how he goes and finds him, and is like, we need to cook together,
Ooh, that was dead.
Yeah,
What are you
sorry.
talking about?
Listen,
At the beginning?
yes, at the very beginning. This
No,
is
at
like
the
the
beginning, he
first
goes
like
on
2
a-
or 3 episodes.
The first episode, he goes on patrol with fucking his brother-in-law and sees he jumps out a window and
Yeah.
running from the DEA in his underwear, and he goes, Jesse, and then he goes to his house. He looks him up in the fucking Yellow Pages and goes and finds him.
Oh, well,
It
I
wasn't
haven't
some
seen that
pseudonym.
show.
I have no idea what
I
you're
haven't
talking
seen
about.
that show like that particular set of episodes in like 12 years. So
Okay.
Anyways, great show. We should
Yeah, I have
watch
no
it.
idea how you got to that. That was
Anyways, the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie sucks. Yeah,
yeah, quite bad.
the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie is the worst one of all of them. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm
so
not
bad.
gonna lie. The fourth one was the worst one when it came out, but it was good.
It was
I-
still,
it's
it
like
was
a,
very
it's a
watchable.
fun side
It's
quest.
whimsical.
Yeah.
It was like
It was
a slice
silly.
of life episode.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
It's
what
like,
are we
this
doing
is
in
what
Earth
he's
Kingdom
doing.
today?
It was
It's
like
yeah.
it was like in the Community. It was like the fucking video game episode. It was its
Yeah.
own little like
Yeah.
bottle plot. It was
Yeah.
its own little.
Yeah.
I was
It's
so
wild
hyped.
that the bad guy from Breaking Bad is in that episode.
Yeah, that's
part.
Gustavo.
Yeah,
He's a bad guy. He's like
Wait, what?
yeah, I know. He's like one of the like first antagonists before he like, and then the story gets bigger than him.
opposite. There's like bad guys in
Wait,
season
what are you
one,
guys
bad guys
talking
in
about?
season 2, and then he shows up in season 2, but he becomes like a big bad like in
He
season
becomes a
3
bigger
or 4.
player.
Yeah, he becomes a much bigger character and player. In
How many
season 3
seasons
and 4.
are there?
5.
If Breaking Bad 5, yeah.
So he's like the background bad guy in season 2. And like he shows up a couple times, but you understand like there's something cool, he's weird and something's different. But then season 3 shows up and you're like, whoa, he's bad. He's a real bad guy. He's so bad. And then it just
And
stays.
season 4 is like the peak.
Yeah,
of that.
season 4 of that show is like
Doesn't he die on a toilet?
no.
You're thinking about
His death is way cooler.
you're thinking about something else that happens.
On a toilet.
Yeah, on a
Oh,
toilet.
okay,
Yeah.
well, okay.
I was about to say it, and I was
Of-
like, "That's a
of the
wild
great
thing to say,
shows-
even for a show that's like that old." I don't want to spoil that.
Of the great shows that I would think you would like, but I still wouldn't say you need to watch. Like since we've gotten to this understanding of like there's only a few things I would even recommend to you that I would only recommend something to you I think you would not only watch but you'd get something out of it.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad's like at the very top of the list of things I wouldn't recommend you. It's amazing. It's the best show ever made, probably technically, but like you'd have to get so far into it that you wouldn't want to watch as much as you'd need to get into it to watch it.
It formed the very foundation of mine and Charlie's friendship.
Yes, Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones both start very similarly in that it's a lot of building that world for you, and then when they pedal to the metal in Breaking Bad,
They really deliver it to you.
yeah,
It
like,
is
All
such
the
a
world
slow
building is
burn
worth
at
it
first.
because
Yes.
they're like they deliver on everything they built up.
and
for
in
you.
both of the shows, hilariously, it's the second to last episode of the first season where they push the gas and they just stay for the rest of the show. In Game of Thrones, it's episode 9 of season 1. It's the thing that happens in season 1. They pedal the metal, and then you're just fucking boom. It's good for the rest of the show. And then Breaking Bad, you got to get to that episode, that second to last episode. Shit goes down, and you're like, what the fuck? And then it just stays what the fuck for the whole show. But you got to watch like 7 hours to get there.
Yeah, that's
and it's good. It's the thing is, those episodes are as good, if not better, once you've already seen it all. It's just when you're going into it naked, you have to remember so much shit.
Yeah.
And that's what's tough about it.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is really good about being over explanatory.
It's a lot of content.
They're like over explain a couple things to really drill it in your head. They over say names a couple times. They're really trying to let you know this is this guy's name and his relation to these 6 characters, because they're going to be in the show for 7 seasons. And they need you to know the relationships, because the most important part is how everything's connected. Because there's by season 4, there's like 280 characters of that show or something ridiculous.
God damn.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's great, but it's a lot. But again, there's a reason I say watch Ted Lasso, watch Community, watch Shrinking.
Season 4.
I know. I was about to bring that up.
Mike brought it up to me.
So you can finally watch season 3.
Yes, that's exactly like fine. Like that's why I needed the
needed
thing.
that.
I needed a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso is how I got my life together enough to get that car though. If you remember, like when I got my car, I was working. Like I was watching Ted Lasso leading up to that long movie. You know what I mean?
Ted Lasso was a very transformative, like an understanding of where I kind of sit in my groups of people.
Yeah.
It's a very good, help you figure out exactly how you're supposed to think about who you are to yourself show. It's a long-winded way to say that. But with that said, 2 things. 1, Shrinking. I'm going to say that again because you got to watch it. You got to watch that one. That one's good.
I got a reason to be on Apple TV.
Yeah, you got to watch that.
I just wait for the DVD to come out. Go get it from Walmart. That's what I did with Ted Lasso.
The DVD?
Yeah, I got the whole DVD set sitting over there.
Oh, damn. I might. You watching it?
No, I haven't even opened it yet.
Is it Blu-ray?
Does that matter?
I don't know if a PS5 plays DVDs.
I don't know,
That's
actually.
a good question.
Like, I'm not to be a
Hold
bougie
on,
bitch.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I only have a PS5.
With that said, though,
yeah.
new show that I was going to bring up for both of you.
Okay.
I know he'll watch it. You might watch it. It's on Adult Swim. It's called Common Side Effects.
Oh, yes. I haven't watched it yet. The reason I say yes is because...
Oh, yeah, no, I sent you a clip for that.
I saw the commercial and I was like, this is for me.
There are 9 episodes out of the 10 in season 1. The next episode comes out next Sunday. The last episode, the finale.
What do I watch it on? Like adultswim.com or some shit?
The
7 Seas.
Yes, the 7 Seas.
I love Jack Sparrow.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
A Pirate's
Caribbean.
Life. A Pirate's Life for me, baby. You know.
Hi ho.
I can't.
Shiver
I
me
think
fucking
this is a
timbers.
DVD.
Give me that. Let me look.
That boy can smell a Blu-ray. that means that.
I think that's a DVD.
This is Laserdisc.
Yes, Dolby Audio. This is DVD only.
It might be a VHS tape.
I would just Google can a PS5 watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
But
Can a PS5 watch?
I still need to finish
DVDs.
season 3, so you can take the first 2 seasons.
I need to finish
he needs to watch season 3. He's
Oh,
only
damn.
watched the
I
first
can't
2
play
seasons.
DVDs, but I'll get another time. See,
Yeah.
did they give an announcement for season 4? It's like this summer.
Yeah, they tweeted it or something. They
I saw the
They're
announcement.
filming it this summer,
Yeah.
so it'll probably be out
Okay, we got
this time next year.
Yeah, we got
we got a minute.
I went to go see my mom and my
Wait,
stepdad
you were
this
saying
weekend.
something. My
Wait a
bad,
second.
Chris.
Wait a second.
My bad,
Sorry.
Chris.
Common Side Effects. This show,
Is that good?
as far as the animated show, think Boondocks and Rick and Morty.
For Big Pharma.
No,
Okay.
forget about the story. Just speaking on animation terms, it's like, or actually, now that I think about it, what's Gumball called?
The
The
Amazing World of Gumball.
Yeah.
Amazing
It
World.
looks just like that.
It's Gumball and Boondocks. It's like that. The animation style is very that. It's like that pastel-y, fluid,
Really pretty to look at.
pretty colors, but
Almost
sometimes
distorts its own reality.
Yes.
I get what you mean. Like you're watching.
and it's a very trippy show for the sake of being trippy also.
Yeah.
Because it's about mushrooms.
Yeah.
And the animation alone is unbelievable. The grounded reality that this show puts itself in while being mystical and amazing is better than any animated version I've ever seen. It is fucking incredible. The only show that competes with it in terms of like ridiculous situation in the real world that I can think of is Boondocks. Because Boondocks is very grounded in that they're not trying to make you think there are super, like talking animals or anything.
Yeah.
What?
I was just thinking, like, my mind was flashing back to different episodes of Pluma.
but in that, Rick and Morty is very clearly, aliens, crazy, hijinks, hilarious, very grounded themes and mature content, but it's a funny, silly action, adventure, sci-fi thing. This is eerily, scarily real while being fucking hilarious. So funny, so scary real. Unreal how real it is. I hate how the conversation we were having earlier about the fucking who's pulling the strings. This show is an indictment of that theory.
I'm telling you, bro.
So good.
The shows.
Yeah, so good.
Have you ever seen Inside Job?
The
What's
movie?
that?
Netflix. The show. I think it's called Inside Job, but it might
Oh,
be
is it animated?
Yes, about the government. The government.
It only lasted like what, 2 seasons?
Yeah, but dude, it was one of those shows that people should have been watching. Like, I get it got canceled because of ratings or some shit. I would like to argue that it was more so for the same reason that this show may not find itself with a 3rd season. I mean,
Netflix doesn't release their numbers. Like, that's what they're kind of notorious for.
Not release their number?
Yeah.
Okay,
every
yeah.
other show.
They don't release metrics.
Okay, I'll put it to you guys like this. I don't watch shit. I watched that entire 1st season of that show. It's a really good show, but I feel like it's also in that vein of indicting the shadow people. It's like the idea that we don't know exactly how shit goes, but we know it's not how we're told.
The guy who did Common Side Effects is sneaky because Adult Swim technically doesn't exist anymore. Cartoon Network's gone, and so it's adults. It's all online. So the avenues you got to go to get the show are hard enough that it's kind of
still on TV though, right?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to. I want to say Cartoon Network as the channel is still there. I think the studios either got shut down or the old building or the.
Yeah.
But I want to say you can still.
Well, a lot of it went to Max. I don't think the channel exists anymore, but I'm not sure.
No,
almost everything on Cartoon Network is streamed.
Every
on
time
Max.
I've stayed at a hotel, I've been able to put Cartoon Network on.
Well, this happened 5 months ago.
No, I've stayed at hotels since.
Okay,
I'm
just saying, the Cartoon Network thing
I like
just
to
happened.
travel. I've seen things. I've been places.
No way, really? That's crazy. Don't wink at me. They can't see you wink at me. They don't understand why that silence was there.
His website got shut down, which is why all of its streamable stuff.
Damn, I can't play that Teen Titans game no more.
Shut the fuck.
I used to play the fuck out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
When
nah,
fight?
yeah, nah.
I said that specifically for you because I knew right away you would know what I'm talking about.
Hey, and that shit was hard too, dog. I used to play
difficult or hard isn't awesome.
Awesome.
No, yeah.
Now get low key.
It was difficult.
Yeah, low key.
It wasn't easy.
Hey,
Combos.
Cinder Block.
Fuck Cinder Block, man.
Yeah, he put beats on the nigga, bro. Yeah. Those were the days, dog.
Man, the games you could get away with playing at school,
hell yeah.
especially when you could find me and fucking shout out Colt Wimbish.
What's his last name?
Wimbish.
I want a Wenbish.
Yeah.
You were telling a woman you
Win, bish.
You need that. Yeah, win, bish, win.
Damn. No, I don't think.
I like that. That's good.
He's a rodeo guy. He rides bulls. Cool guy. I remember. I haven't talked to him in 15 years. Anyway,
how you know he rides bulls?
Because he did when we were in school.
Is that just what he says he's doing on the weekends? Is that why he walks like that on Monday?
And then you mentioned bears and beards, perchance.
You guys are being real mean and homophobic about a guy who can't defend himself.
I saw a hat at American Eagle that said, "This is."
We played a game together at school on the computer called Bomb It. And there was these little bomb guys that threw bombs. So you could play up to 4 people on one keyboard. It was really sick. There's multiple areas on the keyboard that you could
use as the
ASW, and then the arrows, and then there were ones above and somewhere else that you could also use. So
am I using the Q to go left?
Exactly, basically. Yeah. And we would play Bomb It or Bomberman or whatever it was together. And it was it was the only game any of us could find that you could co-op / versus on one keyboard. So we're all just huddled around a computer in the computer lab after we've done all our work. And it made us better students for that class because the sooner you finish your work and get it right, the sooner you all get to go play Bomberman. So that was our little we were the fucking Voltron robots of completing our stuff. I'll help you if you help me with. I'm bad at this part, but I'm good at that part. So let's fucking do this. And then here, can we play games now? Yes, cool. And then we'd all just fucking go sit over there for 30 minutes playing that game. And that's
that little microcosm of school life when you could still play cool math games on the computer, shit was so cool. And now everyone just has their phones, so they're all just playing Clash of Clans and whatever they're playing, and it's lame.
Dude, it tripped me out how dedicated you Clash of Clans guys are.
Yeah, they're like locked in. Dude.
No, because I mean, like, I know that it's not something that takes up a lot of your time, but the fact that you still, like, handle business in Clash of Clans, like, y'all niggas are dedicated. Because even lightly playing it still after all this time.
Well, so I'm not gonna pretend I've been on it this whole time. I restarted it 2 years ago, like from like a fresh account.
Yeah.
And now granted, I am about as high level as you can be. I maxed all my stuff. I'm a fucking Legends League. Like I'm an upper echelon Clash of Clans player. I'm trying to be one of the better ones. But
oh hell nah!
I love that game a lot. It's really good. But the reason I play a lot, and the reason I like it is they are very dedicated to keeping it fresh. It's the reason a lot of like the gaming industry is kind of lame right now is like so many like Destiny was really
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, Destiny were really bad about this. Like, they would release their game, it would be fucking awesome, and then they would just fucking never update anything. They would never give you new characters, never give you new weapons, never give you new maps. It gets stale so quick, and in this, back to our fucking mindset earlier of all these people with the short attention spans, people want new shit. And if you're making all this money on this game, you could probably make a lot more if, like Overwatch, you put a new character out every fucking 2 months. Or put out a new map every 4 months or something, you know. Marvel Rivals is so lauded because they're updating it every, like, fucking 3 weeks or something. With new characters and shit. And that's cool. But, like, I don't care. It's fun. Overwatch does it enough that I'm going to keep playing Overwatch. Like, there's a new character coming out next week. Like, I'm okay with waiting a couple months. Let me have fun getting used to a character instead of, like, just fucking throwing me to the wolves with new ones all the time. Clash of Clans is similar. Like, there's a relatively decent update with a ton of new stuff every couple of months. And in that time, it takes that much time to upgrade all the last stuff anyway. So, like, you know, it's cyclical in keeping you busy. And the metas keep changing for what Ali's struggling on this sip he just did.
God damn.
You alright?
Yeah, dude, I should never make my own drink again. That shit.
Just let me make it for you.
The tequila cut through the lemonade and the Sprite.
How much did you pour?
I not that much.
Which tequila?
Probably not that much.
You have tequila.
You almost said probably. He's over here just drinking fucking glass cleaner.
Bruh.
Fucking Everclear.
I do have some Everclear.
I know you do.
Goddamn.
I assume so.
So, like, as far
you
as...
gotta keep your nukes
is
close.
it Clash of Clans, like, akin to Civilization? Like, those games? Like, it's kind of like...
Oh, I mean, it's tower defense. I mean... Like, yes and no. You are building a city, but...
What's tower are you
It's
fighting
like
other
you
players?
you build
fight
your
other
own
players.
dominion and you defend it.
Yeah, I mean...
that's
you
called...
defend it, air quotes, but really, you build your base, and every time... Like, so, it's different depending on where in the game you are. I'm in Legends League. That's the highest league you could be in. It's like ranked play. It's like competitive. Yeah. So, I get 8 attacks a day, and I can't do any more than that, and I can only get attacked 8 times a day. Max. And... excuse me. People in Legends League, that's how they rank it, is everyone has the same amount of attacks, and a set amount of trophies you can win per map. Up until Legends League, you might be facing a base that's fucking 4 town halls ahead of you, and you could, if you somehow magically could 3-star, you get like 300 trophies, something ridiculous. But, you know, if you do an attack against a nothing base that just happens to be in your league, you might only win like 3 trophies. Like nothing. So like there's a system. You climb that ladder. I could, if my account somehow got down to the bottom league, in a day I could get all the way up to like in less than 3 days I could be back in Legends League. Because at a certain point you can just steamroll through all the leagues because you're never going to lose. You're going to 3-star every base and just maximize your trophies. And that's why the Legends League exists, is because it keeps you bracketed in like a certain set of the trophy area, and you're only ever fighting other max bases or bases relatively similar to the base level that you have or the design that you have. Excuse me. And it continues to evolve, so it keeps it fresh and keeps it fun. Yeah. That's why I love it. And like you said, it doesn't take up a lot of my day. Like maximum, I'm spending 20 or 30 minutes a day playing that game.
Yeah.
And like in like 10-minute bursts, like 10 minutes, make an attack or two. fucking put it away. And it's going to become way faster soon because they're about to take training time out of your armies, which has been like a long time ago. It used to cost money to train your armies. They did away with that a few years back, and everyone, it was like that meme from Fallout. Everyone liked that. Mm-hmm. Like, the game got super popular again and exploded in player feedback and positive player feedback. Mm-hmm. And now they're about to take training time. Put that in perspective, I get 8 attacks a day. You can have one army ready to go at a moment and another army queued, so you can start 2 armies training, let them train all the way through and do 2 attacks back to back, but then you have to wait for another army to train. My army that I use all the time takes 40 minutes to train. So, like, if I wanted to hop on and attack twice, I have to wait an hour and 20 minutes to do it again. Like, the same way. And I have to make 8 attacks a day. So, like, I got to get on, for 5 or 10 minutes 4 times a day just to get my minimum attacks in. They're about to do away with training times. I could do all 8 attacks in, like, fucking 20 minutes, like, real fast, and it's going to make the game they're going to have to change how many attacks Legends League players get. I could talk about Clash of Clans all day. I need to stop. It's got to be getting boring for anyone listening.
Hey, look, man. I just want y'all to know.
But it's fun.
Number 1 Clash of Clans player on the East Coast, my boy Christopher Catone. Fuck all you niggas. Fuck your tower bases. Fuck your little dragon statues.
He'll come for you anytime.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. On command, in your face, on your belly button, wherever you want it.
I'm not going to claim to be the best, but I will say I can 2-star anybody's maximum base, and I could probably 3-star.
He's talking so much shit. I don't even know what he's saying.
Bro. Like, I'm talking about, bro. Like, and we're geeks. Yeah. But I'm looking at him like fucking nerd.
I would be very excited to play whoever is better than me.
That nigga said, "I'm Nat 20, your mother."
You know who like I've been debating having on but I've been like, I don't know if I should do it.
It's crazy to say their name right here.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna say like what they do.
Will we know based on that?
No, I don't. It would be crazy if either one of you knew.
Okay. Well, then why are you even bringing it up?
Because he's a professional. Like you said, the whole thing about being geeky.
What is he?
He's a professional duelist.
Like
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Like lightsaber duelist.
In real life?
Yeah. Like, how there's like an actual sport
for it
now?
Lightsabers aren't real, though.
No, but I mean, like, there's a sport for it. Like,
But they're not real.
And they got like pro sabers you can use and all that sort of stuff.
I hate...
Like,
no, I don't. That's interesting and cool. I don't hate that exists. I was going to say I hate that it exists, but we need shit like that to exist.
I hate the Quidditch thing. The Quidditch thing is...
Quidditch.
Sounds really
air
stupid.
quotes, real Quidditch does look lame as fuck.
Oh, corny as hell.
They put
First
a
of all,
broom between...
Yeah, you're just walking around holding a fucking broom like your dick. Like, it's just fucking stupid.
It's like the beginning of Happy Gilmore where he just keeps putting different shit between his legs.
Man, I've been meaning to say this the whole podcast, but I did say it. I didn't finish the thought. So Tropic Thunder came out when I was like we were 11.
Yeah.
Like 11, Chris might have already been 12. I probably turned 12 that October.
I was 12.
He was like 45.
Yeah, old as hell.
Anyway, how dare you?
I think he's like 36 right now.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up!
He was 29 yesterday.
His age is like lottery numbers.
Bro! Tropic Thunder, bro. Talk about it.
Yeah, so.
I was so excited.
No, just like... I haven't seen it since I saw it when it came out.
Yeah.
I saw it one time in theaters as an 11-year-old, and
Damn, who took you to see that movie at 11 years old?
my titi Annette.
Damn.
Yeah, my titi. Yeah.
Gangster.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
a crazy
no,
movie.
wild movie to take an 11-year-old to go see.
Nuts.
In hindsight, wow. I mean, wow. I really think she was just kind of like, fuck it. Like, almost on some social experiment shit.
Yeah,
she was like,
how's he gonna
digest
digest
what happens if I bring an 11-year-old to a movie with Robert Downey Jr.'s BM? Because that's the thing. That's how you know he did good. As an 11-year-old, bro, I didn't know who the fuck Robert Downey Jr. was, bro. Yeah. Nigga, I saw Iron Man. Nigga, we were like 2 Avengers movies in by the time somebody was like, oh, that was Robert Downey Jr. I was like, what, in Tropic Thunder? I was like, no, it's Ben Stiller. They're like, the black guy. I said, get the fuck. Yeah. Get the fuck.
How many embarrassing like times did you defend that wasn't him until you like fact checked it?
Nah, nothing like that.
There's never like a couple times that you were like, you're crazy, and
dude,
then you found out you were wrong.
A lot of people in our age range haven't seen Tropic Thunder, bro. They were kids.
Sure.
You're like friends with like movie buffs.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking for the common movie consumer. Like a lot of us, like a lot of people haven't seen Tropic Thunder. But yeah, I had never got into like a debate about it or anything. It's just in my head. Like I saw Iron Man the year it came out.
Yeah.
I saw that motherfucker's face twice that year on big screens.
Yeah.
Completely different guy.
Yeah.
Completely different guy.
There's a reason he got an Oscar nomination for it. He did amazing. It's an amazing acting performance.
It was. No, it was. It
so
really
good.
It really was. The reason it's so good too is because like you can't deny that he's acting like a black person, but then you have to start having the conversation of what does a black person act like, and then I'm the perfect person to have a conversation like that with because I'll get on somebody's ass.
Yeah.
But then that performance is undeniably a black man. You know what I mean? That's how good of a performance it is. Like that's definitely one of my uncles. But why do you think that? Because that's what the fuck we need to dissect.
Yeah, of course.
Damn, Charlie, why do you?
Well, you know, he said that thing about he watched the Jeffersons, and I was like, oh yeah, black people watch that. That's all it takes. Yeah. Like, I thought that was just like required viewing for the black people, right? If you watch the Jeffersons, man, that's the theme song to the Jeffersons. That scene is that whole movie is so. I love when like annoying, like the really annoying white people use that as the like a current person will do blackface, and they'll be like, well, if we're canceling him, we should cancel Robert Downey Jr. Look at and then like they don't look at the role for like forget about how good of a performance of being a black guy he is. It's Leonardo DiCaprio in Django. You have to have context to tell that story and why it's wrong to do blackface in the first place.
Yeah.
Because that's the character isn't so. The point of the character is it's not okay to do blackface.
Yeah, no.
That's the point.
That's how good he's doing so good. You're like, oh, it's just a black guy. It's like, no, he's a white dude making fun of black people. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But he does it so seamless that like you forget that there's a
yes.
Bro,
the message is like muddied by how good of a black guy he's being.
There's no 11-year-old boy, black or otherwise, you can show that movie to, bro. Like, unless you were already into film, unless you already knew who Robert Downey Jr. was, bro.
And even then, you're still 11.
That's a black guy!
You can only know so much about the world. He's black.
No, bro, because that's the thing. Like, it's just one of those things I don't talk about a lot with people, bro. But, like, I don't forget shit, and I over-intellectualize everything. And I don't forget what I don't know. And I don't forget, like, kind of that I came into knowing of it. So I have a very...
Damn, that was a sentence.
We made it through there. We got it.
What you mean?
I feel smarter having survived that sentence.
It made sense.
It did. I mean
I
that.
get it.
I'm not being silly. It was just worded.
This is why you're the musician.
It was worded crazy, bro. That was nuts.
That's why you're the guy that puts together bars.
It was like if you had to hold a cup on a roller coaster and not spill it. I did it, but man, it was tough. That was like
it's like he jumped up in the air, did a handstand, and then like fucking like flipped around and
we had
landed
to
on
catch
your
you.
hands.
And we had to catch you, and put you.
And then you're like, all right, you guys do this. Like,
it worked.
Yeah.
We got there anyway.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Good job. He's right. There's a reason you're the lyricist.
I appreciate it. I love you guys so much. Goddamn, I forgot what I was
11-year-olds.
11
Oh, yeah, he's black.
He's black as fuck, right?
And I remember, dog, like, that one day I had to come to terms with the fact that, like, that's not a black guy. Like not like this crazy, like, existential dread kind of way, but, like, by the time I was older, by the time
I had to come to terms with it. It's like, bro, my mom left for 15 years. I had to come to terms with, like, forgiving her. Like, so that I could have a relationship.
Come here.
I was like, I had to accept that Iron Man, like, was a really good black guy one
every
time.
morning. Look at a picture of RDJ and be like, he's not a black man.
Like, instead of Jesus on the wall, he's like, okay, this is not a black person.
It's that picture of RDJ from the Endgame, like from the poster where he's just looking up and there's stars around him. And it's like, that's not a black man. Somehow he time traveled to the future and got that poster and like gave it to himself as a younger kid. It was like every morning, I gotta look at this and remember, not a black guy.
I had to come to terms with it. It's so great. Continue. I'm so sorry.
That tequila's really hit.
no,
It's hitting me. I haven't had any.
No, I'm talking about him.
Yeah, I know.
Dude's throwing out lyrical gymnastics and then saying shit like, can't come to terms with RDJ's not a black man. Like,
that's unbelievable, bro. Oh, it's so good. That's amazing.
We didn't give him the studio right now. He's cooking.
Bro,
He might already be cooked.
bro, stop.
Hold on. Okay.
Dude, my ears hurt.
We're not gonna, okay. Creighton, look at me. Look at me. Look, lock in.
Okay.
We gotta let him say it. We gotta
No,
stop.
because it's nothing profound or as good as anything I've said. Like, sometimes when I'm building up to what I'm saying, you guys fuck with it so much, I'm like, well, you're going to hate when I finish.
Yeah,
It's not that good.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Damn. That's fucked up.
She dropped me off at Popeyes. I don't know. I don't think she's saying that.
She was like, if I give him some food, maybe he'll leave.
Damn. When did this become the Eviscerate Ali podcast?
I'm just
That's
having fun.
crazy.
I would say the same shit if it was Charlie.
You have said it the whole podcast.
Yeah,
I
I'd
can't
say
get
it
away
about
with
me.
anything.
I do say it about me. Caitlin's in my life, and I'm like, she literally goes out of her way when we're recording to just be like, I'm tired from the workday. I don't have time to deal with this tomfoolery. I'm going to go in the bedroom.
Oh my god.
But, oh, man. But anyways, maybe...
Okay.
Because by the time I found out that wasn't a black guy, I had already fell in love with the MCU, bro. Like, yo, we're only a couple movies removed from him getting, like, smoked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're in there. Because I'm like, it's a movie I saw when I was a kid. When I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, like, the movie's, like, really intense, I guess. Or, like, not intense, but, like, I knew I wasn't supposed to be watching it. You know, there's a lot of gratuitous violence and shit. They're wilding out. I even think there's a scene where, like, Robert Downey Jr., like, I think by the end of the movie, you see him as a white guy in the movie.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. That's his whole arc.
He's a white guy at the beginning.
Literally, his arc is like, I'm a dude playing a dude, pretend to be another dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's his arc.
But as an 11-year-old, I don't remember none of that shit. All I remember was like black guy, kind of funny movie.
Yeah.
So then one day I'm just like, there's no way that was Robert Downey Jr. dog. I mean, even the lip coloring, bro. Like they got like the pink to brown ratio on his lip.
Well, that's
They're
the news,
like- they're
that's
like,
the news
listen.
clipping at the beginning of the movie. They go, in the first ever melanistic transfusion to prepare for his
It's like
method
an
acting.
episode of The Boondocks.
Yeah, because he's a method actor. That's his thing. Man, I'm a method actor. I stay in character until the DVD commentary. It's one of the greatest lines. It's so good. They really like the meta-ness of the like what they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
Is so. It's so.
Yeah, they're
that,
so
then,
making
like-
fun of Hollywood.
and
They're
then,
doing
like-
so good.
And then,
Yes.
like, 8 years later, Jared Leto did that shit horribly.
What are you talking about?
Wait.
Because he's like, whole thing is he's a method actor. So he's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you know,
for
yeah,
Joker
for Suicide
specifically,
Squad.
Doesn't that kind of fuck you up? If you think about like when you saw Jared Leto as Joker, thought about like the distance between that and Tropic Thunder, what it felt like a lifetime almost. But now when you're like 8 years after, I'm like, damn, those were within 8 years of each
And we're
other?
9 years after.
Ah.
So we're further removed from that than we were.
Tropic Thunder
Yes.
was Tropic Thunder was 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Just so you,
There are
put
kids that
in
were
perspective.
born and about to graduate high school that were born when that movie came out.
God.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Jared Leto, while he gave a terrible performance, he's an unbelievable actor. I don't want to.
He's also a cult leader.
Sure.
And also he
I'm not
sucked in
saying
Morbius.
he's not. I'm not saying he's not a problematic human being.
He sucked
I'm
in
saying
Morbius
he's
too.
an unbelievable.
Like you can be a cult
actor.
actor if you were knocking it out of the park every time.
Well,
you know,
look,
but, you know,
that's
cult
not-
leader, not cult actor. Sorry.
You take the performance of the Joker. It was written badly. I will die on the hill.
Oh,
that-
you think it was the writing that did that?
Yes.
Oh, he adjusted the glasses and everything.
I do think that.
So you think he was acting well?
I think what we saw was not the best version. There are people in the industry who
They're talking
say
about the cutting room floor of that movie.
they say there's a very good version of that movie somewhere, but after they filmed it, after it was done, Will Smith saw what they were going to put out, didn't like how little his character was in the movie, and wanted a total rehaul because he was a producer. And so,
Oh hell no!
and they had it. They fucking
Wait, so
ruined
they throw
it.
in Will Smith under the bus for this?
No,
Hasn't he been through enough?
I agree.
Hasn't
Who
enough
put
been
that
through his
out?
wife?
Jada? Did Jada put that out?
Could you imagine?
She was his actual Joker.
Look,
okay.
I'll say it about Jared Leto. I'll say it about Will Smith. They're both unbelievable actors. Are they problematic? Have they done crazy shit? Sure. I separate that from the art.
I wish Leem would have been here.
Is the Joker in Suicide Squad bad? Of course he is. It's terrible.
I don't even like
But
the design. I think
I
the
blame
design
the
is
editing.
trash.
I blame the editing and the writing. I think the design. probably worked in the version that was good.
As soon as you give the Joker a grill, I'm out.
Yeah, dude, and that was the thing too. He was really like they tried to make the Joker sexy. And they never said it out loud. Like they never were trying to tell you.
They were trying to Pete Davidson the Joker.
Yeah, and it's like, hey,
during the age of Pete Davidson's rise.
Yeah,
they tried to make him MGK.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Y'all ever seen that video of
it was supposed to work.
You ever seen that video of MGK talking about Kylie Jenner when he was like 23? He's like, bro, I don't give a damn that she's 17, bro. He's like, she's naked in front of you, bro. You're not gonna give a damn, bro. David Bowie.
That sounds like some Andrew Tate shit.
Some Andrew Tate.
Nah,
shit.
bro. This is like, yeah. I mean,
Andrew Tate was said like 9. But like, I'm just saying that's a wild man. You ever heard the shit that he says?
Yes, I
and he
have.
has the chin that matches with what he would be saying.
He does have a strange chin.
You know, it's an any
He's
chin.
a weird looking
It's an
guy.
any
Yeah,
chin.
like that's a funny thing. Like so much of his like whole thing is like masculine look and stuff.
but that's not a masculine.
Yeah, no, that's a bitch chin.
Exactly.
Yeah. He
That's,
can grow
that's
a
why
beard.
he says all that stuff. It's all he's got. His words.
Yeah, he can grow a beard to
Motherfucker has
cover that
to
up,
project.
and he just doesn't. He's
He
like,
has to
that's my
project.
chin.
It must be nice to have like a beard option if your chin sucks.
My chin doesn't suck. I like doing, like, rubbing it, you know what I mean? Like, my chin. Yeah.
I'm in like the really good phase of my goatee where it starts to actually look like maybe
Yeah.
this can fluff out into a beard. It can.
Yeah.
But it looks
No,
like
it looks
might.
good though.
I'm trying. Yeah.
I think I think that your like everybody's facial hair grows according to like their personality.
Jared Leto's a really good actor.
Not like actually, like I know what's it called? Biologically, that's not true. But like, I just feel like everybody I've ever met that has like facial hair that fits their personality. You know, if they have it, and if they don't have it, that also fits their personality. Like when he chose to shave his head. Like, that was who he was at that time. Bald Charlie was on a different level. Like, Bald Era Charlie was like...
Avatar Charlie.
Avatar Charlie,
Well,
Bald
it's
Charlie.
because it was for Halloween
That was
and I was angry. for
yeah,
Halloween.
but you did it a lot. You were like... It was a whole time to
I
be
did it-
there. You know what I mean?
I
It
did
was
it
like
once- I
seeing...
did it twice.
It was like
I
seeing
wasn't at the
Vegas in
time.
the 60s. You know what I mean? Like,
My hair
it's a
grew back
wild time.
in 2 weeks.
You know it's
I had
not
a lot
going
of
to
hair.
last long.
Grows
Like,
fast.
there's a lot of stuff being put up people's noses.
I don't like
and
this.
Up other places, you know what I mean? So.
My character is being misrepresented.
Now he's like in his older phase
Will
with
Smith,
glasses.
Will Smith and Jared Leto are both great actors. is what I was getting to and what I'm ending at on that particular note.
Not as good as Heath Ledger.
I
And not
agree.
as good as Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill didn't
I
have to put a
disagree.
grill in, and he still killed it as the Joker.
As
He
a
is the
voice
best
actor,
Joker.
I agree with you.
He's the best Joker.
He's an okay actor. He's not amazing.
Dude, he's kind of gone off the deep end a little bit the last couple of years.
He's a little fucking crazy
But
now.
this man's lived an incredible life.
Yeah,
Not only was
I-
he like the Joker, he was
I'm
Luke
gonna keep
Skywalker.
following him on Twitter. But
He was Swamp
he's a
Thing,
maniac now. He's gone off the deep end of like the fanatic.
But Ryan Johnson's
version.
a little responsible for that. If he hadn't fucked him over as Luke
I
Skywalker,
don't
then
think
like
that's
I think
true.
he'd be fine. I think he would have held it
don't
together.
think that-
He would have got us through the rough years that we've had.
I don't think that's true.
Ryan Johnson swept the knee out. You know what I mean?
Right.
El Karate.
He Johnnied
Kid.
him?
Yeah. He Johnnied him.
Okay.
They Johnnied Luke Skywalker.
Have you guys heard that Cobra Kai is actually a good series?
Cobra Kai is good. I've watched it. I've seen almost all of it. I love it. It's great.
I
I have a
haven't
shirt
heard
and
anyone
a
say
hat.
otherwise. I've only
Well,
heard
it's
that it's
tripping me out
amazing.
because I refuse to believe that.
No, listen.
I refuse to watch
Listen,
it and be proven
they,
wrong.
They make you care so much about a high school level karate tournament. It's crazy. It's insane.
Well, they did that in the original movie.
Yeah, no, but it's crazy. Like I buy merch for the shit I really love. It takes a lot for me to buy merch. I have a Cobra Kai shirt and a Cobra Kai hat. I have 2 pieces of clothing for this show. You know how much Star Wars shit I have? I have like 3. That's why I'm measuring this by. That's the bar.
This is
I've
3
seen-
articles of merch.
I
Yeah.
saw the first 2 episodes a while back. I only stopped watching because in 2 episodes, the trajectory of how good it was clear, and I didn't feel like waiting.
If it was an anime, it would be the greatest anime of all time. Because it's one of those.
They
where it's
started
like,
off very strong, and what it's saying it's going to be is so amazing. It's very Ted Lasso-y in that you learn to love what you thought you were supposed to hate.
It's long form storytelling. Basically,
It's incredible, like bad guy becoming good guy journey. It's like it's a Darth Vader. It's a Zuko.
It's
very
like,
much
you know,
that.
at the beginning of Pokemon, they're like, gotta catch them all. Like, at the beginning, it's like, they're like, Johnny, you gotta become a better man.
You have to be a better guy, not for anyone else, but for you to be.
That's the show.
Happy.
And
The
there's
show
cool
is Johnny, be better. Be a better person.
Yeah.
It's Kratos. It's fucking Jamie Tart. It's Roy. It's
I get it. So, in the same way, if somebody
story.
was like Ted Lasso's a soccer show, I would miss it.
Yes.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
That's
are you talking
not what
about?
it is at all.
Okay, so this is the karate is the vehicle.
Now, don't get me wrong.
for
There is dramatic elements with karate. Like, at some
There are
point.
some Power Ranger ass moments.
Yeah.
Somebody gets paralyzed at some point.
Oh, damn, that's dark.
I'm not trying to
bro,
spoil
in the
it.
cinema,
No, that's really, but like in the world
But
of
it's
like
good.
high school karate, like that's dark as shit.
Yeah.
Roy's career ends because he wanted to outshine Jamie once. Like these things happen as a.
But it's done very well. It's very realistic. It's very
the show
grounded.
is very lauded as like
It's got me hyped
no one
for
was
the movie.
supposed to think it was going to be good.
Yeah.
No, that's because the thing is, I've had multiple women be like, "No."
Well, didn't it start off on Cartoon Network?
No,
on
no.
YouTube. Wasn't it one
so
of the
when
first
YouTube was
shows?
doing YouTube Red, this is how long ago this started. They were doing YouTube Red, and somebody was like, "Let's do a Karate Kid show," and they got Johnny and they got the actor that played Danny back, or Daniel, whatever his name is, and they were like,
Ralph
and that was the
Ralph Macchio.
Thank you.
Those were the highest billed actors on the show. Like they were it was incredible that they even got them in the same.
This was a first run YouTube Red show.
Yeah, this was like 20,
the Game Grumps made a show at the same times that Karate Kid was made.
This was like 2015, 2016.
And Matt Pat.
And then it got all the way to season 2, and then YouTube Red went away.
Yeah, what the fuck happened to YouTube?
No one watched it.
Yeah,
they realized that like you can't.
Karate Kid was the only, or Cobra Kai was the only one that like fucking exploded.
That was basically them trying to create a streaming service as like a subsection, right?
They
Like,
changed it to YouTube Premium because they realized why are we paying people to make content when we could just have people make content and then give them ad revenue.
Yeah.
Like they just changed it because they were trying to compete with Netflix, and that just they were never Netflix, you know.
Honestly, too, though, they don't need to be. YouTube is like
exactly
its own thing. Game Grumps, their show wasn't as good as Cobra Kai, but it was very fun and very silly, and I was very bummed that they didn't continue it because the problem with continuing it, they probably could have afforded to do it themselves, but it was hiring actors that would have been the hard part and having studio space.
It's like you're giving a production budget to like a lot of like in-house creators. And it's like, it'd be like if all of a sudden we got, $1 million contract
budget,
or a $5 million budget. Like, we don't know what the fuck to spend that on. I mean, not at this level right now. We don't know what the fuck to spend that on. We'll probably throw it into equipment.
I'd figure it out.
We'd get some cool guy. Yeah, we figure it out, but it'd take us like a couple seasons too. And like, YouTube didn't have the time to just throw, $5 million a season at you. And then you figure it out in season 3 after they did.
Yeah, they had their own brand of like they had studio space rented. They had studios like ready to help these creators like progress into TV where they had been making YouTube.
Internet
the
people.
Game Grumps show is a sitcom.
Yeah.
It's like a 6 or 8 episode show starring Aaron and Dan about 2 old gamers starting an esports organization. Yeah. And like bringing a bunch of ragtag gamers together to come from nothing and like compete at a high, like the highest level. It's funny. It's silly. It's a dorky little, the guy who plays the guy in Community, the bald one.
Dean.
Dean's in. He plays one of the people in their team, and he's like he's the only one on the team who doesn't play games. But they had to fill the spot.
Yeah.
And so they're like trying to train this guy who's like no one likes him. None of them like him, but he's the only one who said yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like you see him in that, and it's like he's just less likable Dean.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But Cobra Kai went away after that, and then Netflix picked it up. And then
it got even better.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we see what you can do on a budget. Now, how about you have like a real budget?" And then they brought back what's his name from Karate Kid 3, the bad guy from that, who's like kind of like the emperor to the what's his name, the bad guy from the first Karate Kid.
Johnny,
the old dude.
Oh, the older guy.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
The sensei from the first Karate Kid. He's like
the white
if
one.
he's the Darth Vader, this guy's the emperor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they brought him back. Great season. I haven't seen it since he left. I need to watch the last 2 seasons because this movie's about to get about.
There's a fucking movie.
There's a movie coming,
Karate
and they
Kid
got
Legends.
Jackie Chan coming in
It's
to
Jackie
tie
Chan.
in the Karate Kid movie from 2011.
It actually looks really good.
When we get done with this, we'll watch a trailer. It
No,
looks
yeah, that's the
incredible.
shit that people need to be doing. Like that's the fun shit.
They
to
built.
miss.
This is gonna be my end game.
Yeah,
for
this is like this is your
This
Sonic
TV
3
show. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they fucking lucky
for this
shit.
really niche TV show that I've been trying to
It's
get
not
into
niche. It's 7 seasons and it has ridiculous.
In his defense,
So
was
many people
once
watched
niche.
it.
You know, it was once niche.
Sure.
That I've been trying to get Charlie to watch for like 6 years. And I'm like, listen, man, now's the time.
Dude,
if you have Warriors, now's the time.
Dude,
That's
I didn't bring this
episode
up
3 reference.
earlier, but one of the sequences in Sonic 3 is a direct callback to Man of Steel. And it's also, it's funny
You're
because
talking about the Superman punch from
the fucking boom.
It's not Man of Steel. It's Injustice, because that punch in Man of Steel is a reference to his finisher from
Injustice.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's actually
Injustice comes out before Man of Steel.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
The fighting
I'm
game.
like 90% sure.
Man of Steel was 2013.
2013.
13?
Yeah,
Or
I'm pretty sure
12?
it's 13.
Damn, I was in high. Nah, Injustice was not when we were in high school. I feel like Injustice was
Injustice
like
was
college
when we
era.
were in high school.
That's high.
Yeah.
Damn, you might be right. I might be thinking of Injustice.
I'm like
too.
90% sure. If I'm wrong, then it's definitely a Man of Steel reference.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I'm
Man of Steel, 2013. You got me on that one. Now, Injustice.
Because I want to
pull
say
that
that's a
shit up, Jamie.
2015 game.
Injustice, Gods Among Us was 2013. We were in school.
oh,
Same here.
so
That
damn.
was our
Wait,
that was
which
our
one came
sophomore
out
year of
first?
high school.
Which one came out first?
I
Can you
don't.
tell?
I hate you.
Come on, Jamie.
Yeah, come on, Jamie.
If you would have looked at the date the first
That-
time,
if that-
I looked at the year.
I
if
know.
it's the game
Justice.
and like that's referencing the game, that's incredible. They were like, all right, real quick, we gotta throw this reference in
Release date.
because that's crazy.
So Injustice was April 16th, 2013, and
Man of Steel's that summer, July.
Man of Steel release date was June 14th.
Okay, I was close.
Damn, they threw that shit. They
2
threw that
months
shit
in,
in.
2
last-
months
Nah,
deep.
can I
No,
remember?
there's no way actually, because they had to film it. It
No,
came out
they're two
post-
different things. I think
yeah.
it was just a concept that kind of coincided.
Probably, yeah, because 2 months is not fast
But you're
enough
talking about
for
where they
graphic
punched him
animators.
like around the world,
Yeah,
and then
but-
up
yeah,
in space.
yeah,
they
yeah.
just did that in Invincible, by the
No,
way.
Do you know how long ago?
Yeah.
Do you know how long or how far ahead of that movie's release date they were?
I mean, at the time,
Promoting Man
WB
of
was
Steel?
trying to cook, so they might have been like inter studio like
Maybe
communicating.
that could be.
Now they haven't done that since. They were like, "We cooked with this. We're done. We're not going to talk with each other. We're going to release Kill the Suicide Squad and be like, fuck you guys, or Kill
I
the
think
Suicide
well,
Squad, kill the Justice
when
League."
Sonic and Shadow fight in Sonic 3, it was one of those moments where you're like, bro, they could do an anime movie. Like,
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
just needs to get it right. But
That's
then,
what they need to do with Game of Thrones,
Dude, when he
like if
picks
they
up-
try to do Game of Thrones again, it needs to be an anime because it'll be one of the greatest animated things ever made.
When he picks
yeah.
up the cuffs at the end, I was like, "Oh, he's coming back."
yeah, hell yeah. Dude, I didn't fucking know about it until later on. Like, I saw the first cutscene, and then
And you saw like a 1-to-1 with it or something.
No, I didn't know there was a second cutscene. Like,
Oh, you talking about all the way at the end credits?
At the end credits,
dude.
yeah.
I sat for the whole thing. Man.
yeah, no, I know. I'm
You left?
you. Yeah, no, damn straight. Nah, bro.
I said, I
No,
can't sit through this.
Dude,
Vietnam
I'm not gonna
War
lie.
credits.
In Infinity War and Endgame, like after that, bro, I haven't been to that level of an MCU fan since then. Like, because at the beginning of episode,
Nothing's
3,
been as good. like even
no,
close.
no, for sure. But
Cobra Kai, man.
Spider-Man was.
Cobra
Well,
Kai,
I mean, in the MCU.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nothing's been as good.
I'm putting big money on Spider-Man 4 blowing our breath away.
I'm excited about fucking Fantastic Four.
I'm excited about.
I hope it's good.
I'm
It looks
excited
good.
about
It
the
looks
Batman
very good.
2. The Batman 2.
The Batman 2
Yeah.
is probably the
I-
thing.
look,
Superhero
listen,
shit, that's the thing I'm probably most excited about.
The
That's just not
MCU's
coming out
time
for another 4
The
years.
MCU's time is over. Listen,
Okay.
gentlemen. The MCU's time is over. Now's the time for the true king to come in, which is DC.
Are you DC over Marvel?
Yeah, of course.
He
I
always
am.
has.
Oh, dude, yeah, that must suck to
Yeah.
be you.
It has been sucking. We might be able to
Yeah.
press this of it being sick.
I'm a prophet. I'm a prophet.
Hey,
DCU's
James
gonna-
Goon can
How
only
dare
do as good. Like, he can't outdo the MCU.
He's
dog.
gonna do it.
He's gonna do
it
as good.
Let me tell you why. I've already seen DC outdo Marvel in
When?
the DCAU.
Green Lantern?
I'm not talking about.
Nah,
that.
I just want to bring up three
Listen,
bad things I know
listen,
about.
listen. Have you ever watched like Batman the animated series
Yeah,
or
dude,
Justice
I'm
League
an
Unlimited?
American.
That shit is way better than the shit the MCU pumped out.
Bitch.
Listen. You know they couldn't with it. You're like sitting
chill
there
out.
thinking about
No,
it, and you're
because
like,
because I can raise them like Batman was dope, but you're not gonna shit on like that. I can have Marvel beat them
Justice
at-
League Unlimited, the first, like all of that show.
The problem here is nostalgia.
No,
You have way more nostalgia for that
It's
show.
not nostalgia. They just they told a way better story. Like
That's subjective.
They had a fucking cartoon. Like, yeah, like they.
12
that-
years.
I don't agree with
12
that.
years
No,
of telling
no,
a
him
long
saying that
story
it's a
over
better-
5 shows and 6 movies. Like, it's great. It's some fantastic. And it's not nostalgia. They just they handled their characters better than DC does now. And it's crazy. Like, it's so.
Yeah, but it's not live action.
Well, that is not a good part.
No,
of it.
it is a good part.
I
of
think
it.
some of the best content ever made has been animated.
No,
Yeah.
I'm a fucking anime fan.
Yeah.
You're not saying nothing to me, but I'm saying in the context of like, in any way, the few ways he's like, oh, it was better designed than the MCU. It was like the MCU was also kind of like,
I don't mean better design. I mean better storytelling.
He says the characters are written better. To me, that's just subjective because I just don't agree. I've seen a lot. I haven't seen all of Batman animated series. I've seen a lot of it. It's fun. It is a fun show.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
It makes
But,
you feel good. Makes
but
you feel good in here.
It doesn't make me. I was so indifferent to that show. I'm not as big a fan as you are. So that's
It
different.
really pops off when they get to like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Like
Cool.
the Justice League
How
shows.
far in is that?
That's. I mean, honestly, you could skip a lot of it.
That's the biggest problem. You shouldn't have to skip anything.
Well, no, but
I've seen
I'm just saying, like
I've
you're
seen-
not gonna watch it. I know you're not gonna watch it. So, like, if I was like, hey, you gotta watch these first 2 shows, like, in order to understand every little thing.
If
like,
someone wanted to watch
But
the
that's
Marvel
the other
Cinematic
thing.
Universe, I would tell them, if you're not going to watch everything, just don't bother. You're not going to
But see-
enjoy it like I do. I enjoy it.
But see, that's what
I
I'm
enjoy
saying.
it because I've seen everything.
But see, that's also part of it. Like, you shouldn't have to watch every little thing to enjoy something. Because I grew up watching all of the DCAU without seeing it in order, or without seeing all of it. I didn't watch it in its entirety the way it was meant to be watched.
Sure.
Until I was a man.
Don't say it like that. The problem here is simply.
I'm just saying, like, you can enjoy it at any level for a multitude of different reasons. Because the story's that good. The MCU is falling back because you have to watch so much shit in order to understand what's going on.
Sure. But I don't like the Batman animated series. So the problem, your
Batman
argument.
Beyond slaps, though.
Sure.
And
It's
you don't have
okay.
to watch the animated series to enjoy it.
Okay, I get it, but what I'm saying is I don't like it that much. Like that part of
That's
your
fine.
argument is subjective.
But what you're saying is subjective. You don't like it. That's cool. You don't have
What
to.
I'm saying is, if you're gonna watch something to enjoy it to the fullest extent, and there is a lot to watch, you probably do need to watch all of it to enjoy it to the highest extent.
I disagree.
Okay,
Because,
Sure.
like, everything, like, art is subjective. The MCU is designed in a way where, like, you could jump in and watch the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, right? But if you don't see, like, the stuff that came out between 2 and 3, you're fucking confused as fuck.
Yeah.
I could jump in the Justice League Unlimited from season 1 and not have seen any of the shows, but because of the way they interact those previous storylines.
but don't you think that's because of the evolution of the medium? They didn't have the budget to go into those stories and make them movie to movie, show to show in a way where it would make sense. They had to worry about it getting viewed that day by kids and being able to keep up. It was made for kids. The MCU is made for everybody. So you have a giant movie and show universe.
I would
Having
disagree.
everything interconnected, people can keep up. There's a reason we keep keeping up. There's a reason they keep making movies and shows.
Well, see, I would
and how they have
disagree,
like
because
20 projects on the docket still.
By the time you get to Justice
If
League...
it actually wasn't working, they wouldn't be wasting money.
By the time you get to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, they're aware that their audience has grown. So this is made more for people from like 14 to 35, that I would say. Because, number one, the studio mandated it that it needed to be. And number two, they had the understanding that their audience was aging with them. Like the same kids that grew up watching Batman the Animated Series are the
Are these
same
movies
people.
or is this
like,
a show?
These are shows and movies. Like
Okay.
it's 5 shows and like 6 movies or something like that.
The ones that you're saying are
Yeah, they're part of the
childhood thing
DCAU.
that became like adult
Yeah.
only.
Yeah. Like, I mean, look at Batman and Harley Quinn. I mean, that's a show that I would say is, or not show, a movie that's made definitely not for kids because of some of the themes and like what happens in it.
Yeah.
But there's that understanding from the writers that
You
our
don't think,
audience
you don't
is
think
grown.
you don't think that every little boy who wanted to watch it like watched it regardless of who it was made for? I was
Maybe,
reading books
maybe.
at 12. I was not supposed to be reading
Maybe,
because
but what I'm
nobody
saying is, like,
checked that they were
what
in
I'm
our
saying-
libraries.
But what I'm saying is, like, anybody could watch it. Like, they could, a boy who's never watched, or a person in general could watch that movie and enjoy it just as much as somebody who's seen everything else before that. and
You
enjoy it.
think they enjoyed it? You think that it didn't help having all
All
the
right,
knowledge
to
of
varying
everything?
degrees of enjoyment, but they
Yeah.
still enjoy it. You know,
Because
What
like
the fuck is
some
Batman or Harley Quinn?
Batman and Harley Quinn is like a Bruce Timm movie that came out. That's part of the DCAU. It came out in like 2018. There's also Justice League versus the Fatal Five, which is, in my opinion, a way better movie.
we have Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
And they both are almost.
and we had the
you-
Thanagarian invasion, and
Yeah, no one knows what the fuck that is though.
And we had
Everyone,
we
Endgame
had
and
the
Infinity
we
War.
had the Thanagarian invasion
No
and
one
the
knows.
fucking Argus plot.
Bro, like, cool.
Or,
That
sorry,
was
Cadmus,
fucking Dutch, bro. You're
Cadmus
speaking
plot.
freaky
Cadmus.
deaky Dutch right now, bro. Like, everyone saw Infinity War and Endgame.
I'm just saying, like at that time,
People watched Infinity War and Endgame not
they were
having
doing
ever
the
seen
MCU
anything
before
else.
the MCU was doing the MCU, and they were doing it way better than the MCU has done.
But no, they weren't, because you're saying that you didn't have to have seen anything. These movies very much encourage
Well,
watching
that's
everything.
why they're better though, because like you don't have to watch it to everything to enjoy it. That's why it's better.
Also, for the record, too, the thing that we're talking about them doing this whole building of the universe thing, it's really just like a new medium expression of. Like,
Yeah,
comic
this
books.
hasn't happened
yeah,
before
yeah.
at all.
No, it's just comic
Yeah.
books.
Not really.
all I'm
just-
saying is
it's
like
just
James
comics.
Gunn. All I'm saying is James Gunn's gonna come along and cook. Is what I'm
Yeah,
getting up to
because he's done it before in
Yeah,
the MCU.
and he's gonna just like roast. He's gonna like the MCU's.
You're in
days are numbered,
strong
dude.
denial.
Yeah.
I'm not in strong denial.
No, like, I
We're on
love
the
him.
come up.
He's
We're on
been
the
in
come
denial
up.
since Learn TV.
No, bro,
He's been making this argument for a decade.
the stock on DC is so bad. You guys could like outdo Marvel year by year, and it still wouldn't. Like, bro, Samsung makes a better phone than Apple. Nobody actually gives a fuck.
Yeah, they want their fucking.
And even then,
OS.
I don't think DC is about to be Samsung. I really think that Gunn can bring the DCU up to be like parallel to the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, I think it can be like neck and neck, bro. But to be honest with you, like DC heroes, they're not.
We'll see where we're at after July.
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like,
There's like two.
yeah, dog. There's like four
But
we-
why is that?
There's like
why is that?
There's only 4 we give a fuck about.
But that's what. Why is that? Before Iron Man, you didn't fucking give a fuck about Iron Man. You didn't even know who Iron Man was.
First of all, I did because I played the X-Men games.
Oh, okay.
So you could find his secret armor.
But yeah,
he
but
didn't.
forget about that. Forget about that though. The X-Men. You have whole classes of Marvel characters that are super cool. I fucked with the X-Men way before I cared about anybody in the MCU. Fucked with Spider-Man way before I cared
Listen,
Bro,
about
no
the MCU.
cap. Batman and Superman and the X-Men are equal on a Libra scale. Like, if you scale them
That's
up...
one character versus a team.
No,
dude.
no, hear me out. So Batman and Superman collectively and the X-Men collectively, boom, right?
Yeah.
You'll even them out. That's not putting Spider-Man on there.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man alone, the two of them probably equal one Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Spider-Man... All right, he's 1.5. 1.5 Spider. You know what I mean? But, like, if you scale it out and it takes Batman and Superman to be equivalent in popularity to the entirety of the X-Men as a concept and the team and all that.
And there's no one you can throw in with Batman and Superman.
Yeah, no, I give a
come
fuck
close.
about the Green
No,
Arrow.
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
What are
Like-
you saying, Carter?
Like there's an expansive catalog of characters that James Gunn is the right person to bring out, make them cook, and be better than whatever the fuck Marvel's got going on.
I'm gonna throw you. A
Bro,
bone.
you've been
got-
real deep with
listen,
it.
listen.
I'm gonna throw
Yeah,
him a bone.
Blue
Let me throw him a
Beetle.
bone real quick. Hold on. Let me throw you a bone. Let me give him something so he feels like he's not getting buried. James Gunn's amazing.
Yeah.
He's going to make the best modern iteration of anything that's happened in DC in 30 years. I agree with you there. I think that's for sure not even close to like a question.
If he fumbles it, I might kill myself. I'll be like, this is the
Don't.
worst timeline.
First of all,
no,
don't.
I'm not.
But listen,
because
hold
I've
on.
already seen DC's
Hold on, let me finish
highs.
giving
I'll
me-
just be
let
like,
me
I gotta
finish
come to
giving you
terms
this.
with that.
Let me
you
finish
know?
giving you this, and then I'm gonna sweep the rug out from under you a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's not meant to be mean. It's because I'm building to it. He's going to do that. He has the sauce. He definitely has the sauce to fucking make.
He's
this.
already doing it with Guy Gardner.
Bless you.
Nobody knows
Hold
who the
on,
fuck Guy
stop
Gardner
interrupting
was.
me.
I'm just saying.
Let me say this. It's going to be amazing. He's going to do a good job. That part, I think, is a given. Here are the couple issues I have. One, he's doing a lot with this Superman movie. There's too many moving parts. He's kind of pulling a Batman versus Superman situation. Hold on. I see you about to say stuff. I think he will do a way better job than they did, and it will be way more seamless, and we will feel way more balanced. We have that in the Suicide Squad movies. We see it. We see it in the Guardians movies. With all that said, both of those things, while amazing to us, the nerds who love this shit, general audiences still went and saw it, still think it's pretty great, but it doesn't do anything compared to Iron Man. Didn't do shit compared to Spider-Man. It didn't compete with the levels that these one-off characters with their individual wrapped up stories have performed. I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing for DC. I don't think it's going to come close to just Spider-Man. Just the X. It might surpass the X-Men. And if we're lucky, it will fucking level out with the MCU. I don't think it's going to happen because Matt Reeves fucked around and made the best Batman movie in 50 years. and James Gunn's already said, like, not part of my version of DC.
But he wants,
I'm gonna let him rock.
Matt Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to let him cook. I think that's a great thing. But the problem is now you have
A divided front.
You have a divided DC during two potential peak DCs. We might get the
That's
best
even
Batman.
crazier if we get 2 peak DCs.
It would be kind of fire if we have two. We have the
And then like,
best.
suck on that, Marvel. We got 2 universes going at the same time, and they're both the best thing ever.
Well,
That would be
both,
crazy.
No. See, you got to change your verbiage because
Sorry.
they're the best DC ever. I don't think they're going to come close
Listen,
to the MCU yet,
Write down these names:
No.
Blue Beetle, Booster Gold,
bro.
The Question.
Blue Beetle.
These are all not that Blue Beetle, different Blue Beetle.
He already said
Blue
that's
Beetle.
the canonical Blue Beetle.
Blue
Oh,
Beetle.
he's not doing Ted Cord at all.
I don't know. I thought
Blue
what I
Beetle,
heard was
Booster Gold alone, like that's a duo that could fucking carry a franchise.
Blue Beetle will probably
Dr.
have,
Fate.
They probably have better luck if like Spider-Man wasn't already a thing.
Constantine.
Like we already have cool, athletic, bug-related. Like I get they're different characters, but like
No, I get it.
He's occupying that space.
Zatanna. Like these are the names that I feel like he's gonna pull.
I'm not gonna lie,
and
she'll never do good because nobody likes that name.
Zatanna.
Yeah, just like in a post 9/11 world, I just feel like it's a little too on the line.
What are you talking about?
Zatanna, it's like
Is that Arabic?
Kind of.
I don't get that vibe from that.
What do you get?
I just was
Spanish?
thinking. No, I was. I was thinking
Definitely
more of
is-
like show. Like I think of the
anything-
character.
if
You know,
anything,
like
it's kind
top
of
hat,
Egyptian-y, but
like,
that's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in a
Still-
post 9/11 world,
Anyways,
nobody's gonna go
the
see
point
it
is,
across the
the
time.
MCU's days are numbered. All right.
No,
Listen,
the fuck
No,
they
they
not.
aren't.
come July, like
The
fucking-
bad ones are still making $400 million.
for now. For now,
they
Listen,
haven't
I
stopped.
just need this. I need this. I watched them fuck up Transformers. I watched them fuck up Pirates of the Caribbean.
Bro, it's your.
I watched.
You're a fan of bad shit. What do you want from us?
I watched for years as they fucked up DC, and now we have a chance, and I need this.
Okay, well, just say that. Stop pretending
Yes.
that your stuff is better than the stuff we
My
like.
stuff is so good. You just don't,
we
you just
we
don't
are a
see it.
classier, higher, better people than you, and you just have to
No.
accept that.
It's not true. You guys just don't see it. I'm a
No, I do.
visionary.
The thing is, you're pretending we don't watch any of it. We've seen the things. We don't like them as much as other shit. There's a difference there. We just don't fuck with the same shit you fuck with.
It's good.
We can still all be
coming.
friends.
It's coming. It's coming. The reckoning. Come July.
And I'll fuck with SZA, but SZA talking about she want to play Storm in the MCU.
What?
I saw that.
What?
Yeah,
That's
like-
kind of wild.
Yeah, it's like, calm down. But
Yeah, you
I'm a
ain't-
huge SZA fan.
Yeah.
Like, no, huge.
Who played
I am
Storm
too.
SZA's my,
originally?
but that's my favorite female artist. It's like SZA and Lord. Like,
Okay, I was wavelength shit. I was about to be like, bro, Lord.
yeah, I love her.
I fucking love
Who played
Lord.
Storm originally?
Holly Berry.
How-
Okay.
Okay, don't get me wrong.
Batwoman? That Halle Berry?
We're going based on Holly. Because if you guys ever pay attention to X-Men,
Are you trying to pretend that like Halle Berry as Catwoman was like amazing compared to Halle Berry's Storm?
No, I'm just saying,
'Cause
like,
Storm was
I'm just saying, like, crazier
awesome.
things have happened. Crazier things have
Storm
happened.
was cool. In hindsight, she don't really do too much in the
She don't
movie.
do a lot.
She's kind
She
of
had
like,
the sauce though.
it's kind of like she was hot, black with white hair.
I feel like you
She has
guys are
some
looking.
sick line
Look,
delivery.
you guys are talking about me with
In Last
nostalgia
Stand-
glasses. This is nostalgia glasses if I've ever heard it. She didn't even carry an accent for 2 movies.
That's what I say. Her accent across those movies is like Wakanda for never. Like
That was fine. Okay, well, see, this is just
He
ignorance
came
on
for
the
it with
X-Men.
that one.
I don't know anything about Storm's background. I just know her from the movies.
This is exactly
I
why
don't
you
know.
know
No,
that
even
DC's
outside
gonna
of that,
cook.
just
Sorry.
just watch them. I know it's been a minute because I know you rewatched them, but I know you haven't seen those in a while. Watch
I've seen
them.
Last
Did you
Stand.
watch X-Men '97?
No, I heard it's really
Dude,
fucking
oh
good.
my god. It's like the best animated thing
What
I've
is
seen.
what is
all last
Storm
year.
like? Where's she from?
Africa.
Well, okay. Like,
Okay, bitch, the
is
Tom
there-
was from Africa too, nigga. Like, I don't know.
He's from Wakanda.
Shut up, white man.
There are different countries.
Damn.
Africa's a continent, guys.
Hey, bitch, I know.
I just, when you say accent, I don't know. There's there's
No,
Southern
there's
African.
multiple. Yeah.
And so I didn't know.
It's just. It's not about. It's
I didn't
not
know we were
about-
looking for a particular.
No,
accent.
it's
What's
not.
her 23 and me?
It's not about. You've pulled that shit like 5 fucking
Yeah,
times.
are you like doing it in the background? Are you doing 23?
My mom did.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's in the.
So it's in your.
No,
it's
she
in-
did it like three years ago. So
Never mind.
Anyways.
I like numbers and word
Trying to understand
association.
you will be like AI's biggest hurdle. AI is gonna like
listen.
dissect everybody pretty well, and
I
then you're gonna get him
love
and be like,
numbers.
"Do not understand
I
how
love numbers and word association.
how is so smart and so retarded at the same time."
It's so cool. I like it. when
It's
they
not
do it.
about whether. It's not about her having a specific accent because I couldn't tell you what she's supposed to sound like. I'm not that versed in the character. It's that, like he said, there's no consistent accent. Like Halle Berry has like 3 different African accents and an American accent.
Kind of like
across-
her
Leia in the
accent
Star Wars
changes.
trilogy.
Yeah,
How she's
Yeah.
supposed to be British for a second, and then she's like, how's it going, Chewbacca? Like she's this American, like old, like weird old man American a couple of times.
I think that was George Lucas though. This is a director versus actor thing. Like her hairstyle changed as much as her accent did.
That's
between
fine.
movies.
Hair, well, who cares? An accent is supposed to stick with you. That's not a thing a character is supposed
I
to
did
change.
like the young Storm in
she's
the.
not wearing
new trilogy.
underwear in those movies, and that's not okay.
She's not.
Probably not.
Why not?
Probably
George
not okay.
Lucas.
It could
Oh,
be
you're
okay.
talking about. Oh, I thought you were talking about Storm. I was like, how can you even tell? Like,
And the spandex.
I was like, damn, that's some
Was
thick
I not
leather.
paying attention
And
to
you're
the
like,
camel
over here. She wasn't wearing underwear. I saw it. I was like, damn.
She got the fat mom. Oh man, guys. Well, that's been episode.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
We're
Oh, yeah.
wrapping that one right there.
Yeah, no, honestly,
On
we
the
could
old
wrap.
Nah, we don't, man. It'll
Wrapping
be
it on the old Storm camel toe. I see.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times.
Halle Berry got the fatty.
Okay, wrap this one up, Craig. Do your
Alright,
thing.
listen, this has been Shirts Off, Season 3, Episode 17. What are we calling this episode? What you call it? Because we had like the first half of this was very serious.
Dude, it fucking
Perfectly balanced. That's what we should call it. Perfectly balanced.
Like all things should
Like
be.
all.
If
called
you like
fucking
what
never-
the DCU.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Listen, we'll see in July. We'll see you in July when fucking James Gunn comes in and cooks you guys. Like it's gonna
And
be
he gets
over.
sandwiched by Jurassic Park and Fantastic Four
Yeah.
in the podcast.
All right.
Call it the Thanos episode.
If you've liked what you've seen here and you want to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. This has been Shirts Off, Season 3, Episode 17.